Be good if I unmuted. Hello everyone and welcome. How you doing? Welcome to Mass Effect Datapad Blues. So this is a short form session, about one scenario, about 4 or 5 sessions worth of it, depending on how these guys all do. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. This is all run in the Savage Worlds Deluxe system. And yeah, we'll go around and introduce everybody. So we'll start off with our captain of the ship, Captain Lysander.
Hello, I'm Daniel from Spacedock, and I'm playing Captain Richard Lysander, a chap who ran away from Cerberus after discovering their intentions with Reaper augmenting their troops, and became a somewhat pro-Earth inclined salvage barge captain for the Citadel Council. His salvage barge company was recently bought out by the Turian hierarchy, and he is now forced to work alongside aliens he despises to keep his ship afloat and his life functioning.
Brilliant, thank you very much. And we'll move down to the other half of Spacedock, so Alasdair.
Hello, I'm Alasdair, also from Spacedock. My character is Robbie Jenkins, second cousin, twice removed, of Marine Richard Jenkins, who tragically died, and he's discovered that he's got a family of people that have a habit of dying before their time. It's like a Saving Private Ryan situation. Anyway, I got out of the Marine Corps to get a safer job and ended up working for Dan's character on a salvage job. And yeah, it is not dissimilar to our current working relationship.
Brilliant, thank you. And we'll move on to our Turian paper pusher, Aaron Uranus. So Gab, happy to have you.
Hi, so I'm Gabriel. I am not a famous YouTuber. I am, however, part of the Spacedock web series, The Sojourn. I work as a science advisor. And I'm playing Aaron Uranus, which is a Turian who grew up listening to stories of bravery and laying down his life for the Turian hierarchy. And from that very early age, he knew that he knew what he did not want to do with his life.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Aaron. And okay, so dare I even ask Mark, Roger Collins, the Hanar Gumshoe.
Yeah, I am Mark, and I play Roger Collins, but when I'm not doing that, I am part of the Templin Institute. And in my spare time, I'm a male model, so that's why there's no photo of me, because you couldn't afford the appearance fee, which should explain everything. But yeah, Roger Collins, he's a Hanar detective. He's had a rough go of things. He was on Omega for a bit, but that didn't work out. His noodle shop burned down. He owes a lot of people a lot of money, and now he's trying to find work.
Brilliant, thank you. And finally, of course, last but not least, Nakmar Gusk, Larissa.
Yeah, that's me. I'm Larissa. I'm the voice of the Templin Institute. I'm also a voice actor, and I'm playing Nakmar Gusk, who's a young Krogan with a lot to prove, and he's smaller than your average Krogan, so he's a little insecure about basically everything. He grew up on Tachanka in the Kratic Wastes, and he got picked on by all the other Krogan. And to take out his frustration, he kicked Pyjaks. So he has a strange fascination with Pyjaks. And he also wants to kill the biggest Thresher Maw on Tachanka and become the leader of the Blood Pack, because he's got a lot to prove. But right now, he's just made his way to the Citadel to try and win some glory and find some work.
Brilliant. So, we did have a little session before this, which was just a very casual thing to talk about how each person knows each other, and we had a few interesting scenes come out of that, which we'll tell you about now. So, all of these individuals, aside from Roger Collins, have met before at least once. Nakmar Gusk over here met with Aaron Uranus on a very interesting day at their office. Gusk, how about you tell us how that went?
Well, if I recall correctly, I tried to fit through a door and it didn't work, and I broke his door. But I don't understand the bureaucracy that was involved. That's Aaron's job, but basically I was invited to a party as a party trick. I don't know. It's the whole memory's a bit fuzzy. I drank a lot.
Yeah. As for you, Aaron, you remember that Gusk was brought to you on that fateful day in your
yes,
office.
Right. How could I forget? You see, there I was, working my shift again, as we usually do. And then comes a CSAC officer telling me that some Krogan dude was in need of processing for, headbutting. I think one out of 3 guys.
Yeah, I mean, they were asking for it.
Alright, so in comes this CSAC guy with this big-ass Krogan behind him, and he's like, well, I need you to hide, and I need you to lose a few papers. So Nightmare kind of raised his head and looked at the CSAC officer. Okay, so I get it. You want me to do your job. And he did his best because, he's a very lawful person. He respects the due course of law, and he knows that losing papers is wrong. So he tried to fight back, and the CSAC officer told him that, his job might depend on it. So if it is career matters, it does need to take priority. So there's that. Meanwhile, while the papers were being processed, a co-worker, what's her name again? I believe it's Linda from accounting.
Linda from
right?
accounting,
From
yeah.
accounting.
Yeah. So Linda from accounting comes in, and as she usually does at that time of day, and she sees like this chunky Krogan, this chunk sitting down on the desk, and it's she was going to invite Erin for a party, and she thought, well, maybe bringing a Krogan along would be very interesting, because Krogans party hard, right?
They do party
And
hard,
Aaron-
usually with headbutts included.
I
yes.
am the life of the party, after all.
She is the life of the party. Well, at any rate, Aaron was like, no, I can't. I don't even know this person. This guy, he's in for processing. He's a fucking criminal. But
No.
Linda
No.
would not have it.
I was never charged with anything. Never
Alleged.
caught.
Because papers were lost.
Conveniently so. Still, after you had your parting, they went to a party in one of the less good
I tried
bars
to
in
do a
Citadel.
dramatic slurp, but I can't.
Sorry, a dramatic slurp was interesting, but after that they managed to run into the other members of their future crew, Captain Lysander and Robbie, as they got into a bit of an altercation. Unfortunately, Gusk, when they went for a drink, bumped into Lysander, who at the time was working as a scrap worker with Robbie Jenkins. Not being the most keen on a Krogan bumping into him in a bar, he sort of had a very big issue with that, and after a heated discussion, Robbie came in and diffused the situation, and Aaron joined as well, and they eventually had at least a few good drinks before calling it a night. Now,
I had one.
oh, yes, very true. Now, aside from that, they haven't really met too much, but after a fateful day where, unfortunately, Lysander's and Robbie Jenkins' scrap ship was unfortunately bought out, their jobs and their ship gone, they found themselves creditless and without a ship on the Citadel. Lucky for them, the Turians, who took over their business, not wanting to give up any scrap from Sovereign and wanting to take all of that themselves, paid them at least a lump sum to be able to get themselves a ship. Now, when they went to get that, unfortunately they sent Gusk to collect a few little credits from the guy before they handed over the documents to get the ship, and Gusk bought his favorite ship that he found there, a very, very rusted and completely not working ship called the Flaming Pyjak. So, Gusk, we'll start with you. You return to the offices of Lysander and Jenkins Scrap Company with your writ of ownership for your ship in your hand. You've got all the data on a datapad that's been handed on to you, and you're pretty proud of your ship that you've got. You head back in and find Captain Lysander and Robbie and Aaron all sat around Aaron crunching some numbers on his Datapad and his Omni tool as he checks the numbers over and over again, making sure that their taxes add up, and the other two sat discussing something as you walk in through the door as it slides open.
Welcome to the crew of the... You're welcome, crew of the Flaming Pyjak.
The what?
Flaming Pyjak, it's our ship.
Right.
I love it. This is great. Good job, Gusk.
Thank you. Wait, that sounded condescending.
That's just my normal speaking voice. I can't help it. I get into a lot of trouble for it.
So let me get this straight. You bought a ship, and you named it the Flaming Pyjak.
Why not?
I don't suppose there's any way we can change this name.
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately not. It seems that Gusk, despite their lower smarts, you could say, they managed to sign everything they could. It seems the person who sold them this, as you kind of look over it. Could you give me a quick notice check, please? So that's just your skill dice plus a wild dice, so you should be able to just click it.
Is this me?
This is just Captain Lysander. You've
Oh,
done
okay.
your smarts. You're fine. You've passed.
What am I doing?
Just rolling a notice check, please.
That's /roll notice, I assume.
You just click notice on your sheet. It'll be under skills.
Oh my god, I'm so out of my element right now. Give me a second.
It's all good. That's what we're doing this for.
I'm so glad it's you and not me.
Yes, thank you.
So that'll just be skills tab and then scroll down and
Notice.
press notice. Should be a dice there. There we go. Brilliant. All right.
Check it out. Figured it out.
Figured it out. Right. Okay. So as you look over the documents, you realize that the person who sold them this, you've worked with them before when you were scrapping. You know them as Shady Tom. They're not the most reputable of people with that name, of course, but you weren't going to buy a ship from them. You just needed some credits brought back from Shady Tom from your last scrap deal you had. But it seems that Shady Tom has put some brilliant forms together. It is airtight. It basically signs over the ownership of the ship to yourself, Lysander, Gusk, Robbie, and Aaron, and also says that you are captain of the ship, Lysander. In addition to this, it also says that the payment was taken in full, that it will be transferred immediately, and that there are no refunds on it.
Naturally.
It does, however, say you can keep your ship there whilst you wait for, and then it says vaguely, the repairs to be done.
Okay. So what are we doing then? We gonna hang around here and wait for repairs? Are we owed repairs? Do we have to pay for those as well?
Looking over with your 10, it seems that you do have to pay for the repairs. You might want to pay a visit to Shady Tom.
Okay, where's Shady Tom?
So, Shady Tom is not too far away from here. You can take an air cab, essentially, jump in one of the cabs and take your way all the way to him. He's on one of the less nice areas of the Citadel. You've been there a few times before. There's some shady types in there, but they're always just above the legal barrier, so CSEC don't really do much about him. Still, you know where he is. You
Can
know
we
his
afford
scrap shop.
an air car large enough for Gusk?
Luckily, you can. They account for the fact that Krogans exist, luckily.
Right then, I guess we're going to Shady Tom's place. Let's get rapid transit on the.
All right. You hail a cab, and within no time at all, it arrives, and you all pile in, I'm guessing. So, the cab sets off, and you're treated to a very nice view of the Citadel, which, by this point, with you all having done this hundreds, if not thousands of times, is dull, normal. You see the many sort of cabs flying by you, just below and around you, and you see the many lights of the city, and the space station itself lighting up, and you pass a few nicer areas, such as a Presidium, before you arrive in a very, very shady-looking area. It's decently cleaned, but there's parts of the metal that seem to have stains of something blood, maybe, or sick, or something gross. It stinks, regardless of what it is. And as you walk around, you eventually do see a unmarked scrap shop with a opened garage door, in which you can see a ton of ships, around 5 ships of them, different sizes and different repair. And you can see a couple of engineers working on a few of the different ships. The cab drops you all off, takes your payment, and then books it.
Okay, I suppose we should enter this shop then and inquire as to the status of our repair.
Alright, you step in. The smell of oil, burning, and metal hits you immediately. And as you step in and look around, you flag Tom quite quickly. He's wearing a set of blue overalls, and he's got quite a bit of dust and muck on him. He's got short, kind of slicked back hair. He's a human. Sort of very pale, pasty skin, and a very shaved face, but he seems to be just slick with sweat eternally from whenever you've met this man before. And all of you kind of start to step in and see him, and he immediately looks over to you and kind of grins at you, especially Lysander. Oh, hey. How you finding your ship? Do you want to see her?
Okay. Sure, let's have a look.
All right, he says as he walks over and kind of leads you all through. You know, Gusk here, he got a real good deal. He, brilliant negotiator. He knew exactly what to say.
No, don't doubt it.
Oh, don't. Krogan diplomacy is probably one of their best suits, as you know. He says and kind of grins at you. Anyway, come on, let's go see it. He says as he takes you all the way to the back and past what seems to be some decent-looking ships, actually. They look in good nick. Whoever's brought these in was pretty good. And then you're led into a back room, and suddenly your stomach drops, and you see ships half-constructed, some of their engines just pulled out very unceremoniously, and just sort of thrown to the ground somewhere, and you can see sort of a couple of Vorcha working in here, as a few of them have just got some sort of crowbars and are just pulling at parts of a ship. And as you sort of walk around the corner, you finally see presented for you with a little bit of paper stuck to it that just says, "Now bought." A rather interesting looking ship. It looks to be of a newer model and seems to look like it would be in good nick. At least the outside looks to be in remarkably good nick. There's a little bit of rust, but Shady Tom seems to have been dealing with it before now. Notably, the name The Flaming Pyjak is emblazoned on the side in big, bold letters of a font that you don't quite like, and you don't quite realize why, but something is archaic about the font. It's too smooth.
So we bought a broken spaceship with Comic Sans written outside there.
Yes, Comic Sans is the exact font they're using.
Look at it, isn't it a beaut?
And at the end, you can see it is a cartoon rendition of a Pyjak that is on fire, that seems to be propelled into the air. But on the side as well, near the back of the engines, you can see flames have been painted on it as well. Like, Go Faster flames, essentially, have been painted on the back of it.
Right. We've fixed all the important stuff then, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, the flames have been touched up recently.
Okay, I suppose we should examine the interior if it's gonna
Yep,
It's
yeah, you
great.
can,
make sure it's safe.
you can see the interior if you want. It'll be fine, I'm telling you. Be warned, there are a few things inside there that ain't exactly perfect, but mostly it's good. It's good. Like, you might be missing an engine and, a few things like energy and power and, all those
That
non-essentials.
doesn't sound like anything important.
But it
Nah.
does have flames painted on the outside, and that I'm a fan of.
I've been told that the flames made it go quicker. That's what I've been told, and that's the truth. Them's the truths right there.
This is what happens when you buy a spaceship from a bloke called Shady Tom.
Indeed.
Oh, God.
So, you're in luck, actually. There's a few things on there that are good. But I will say one thing, at least. Your friend here, Gusk, there was somebody that we found on the ship before. He's in the contract, so he's now with you as well. We need to get him away from us. We don't really like people stowing away in our ships, you see. But I'm sure you'll like him.
Well,
seems right up your alley.
What fresh hell is this?
Oh, you'll see. You'll see.
Go on, Lysander, you'll be excited. You're always going on about how you like to meet new alien people.
Yeah. Okay, let's get this over with.
All right. So you begin to sort of make your way in. You press the buttons on the outside. The door doesn't open. Shady Tom kind of grins at you and gives you a crowbar as you ship it underneath and just lift, and the door comes open with a bit of a squeak and a grind as it does. Inside it is pitch black, but he kind of just goes, "Hey, use your Omni tools. They'll be fine."
I mean, I think I'd rather have a spaceship door that sticks than one that doesn't. So that's fair.
Yeah. So as you make your way in, Roger. Meanwhile, whilst all this has been going on, Roger Collins, detective. Hanar. You stowed away on this ship, the Flamin' Pyjak, and about halfway through from Omega to the Citadel, the engines cut out. You were left there for days, out in that ship. It seems the rest of the crew ditched. Just completely ditched it, took all the escape pods and left, and you were left floating in the middle of nowhere, stowed away on a ship with such a interesting name. It's been around 2 weeks since that moment, and for the last week and a half at the very least, you've been in a chop shop known as Shady Tom's Scrapatorium. And despite the fact that it has such a bad name, it seems that Shady Tom really plays on that, that reputation of his, and gets away with quite a bit thanks to it. Still, you've been here for a few weeks, well, week and a half by now. You've been getting fed now and then, but they've said that, given you've told them that you need to lay low, you need to get out for a while, Shady Tom seemed to, he seemed to get you. He seemed to understand what you're saying. He was on your wavelength, and he said, "That's fine, I'll sort you out. Shady Tom will look after you, you can trust me." And it seems,
Alrighty.
after this time, you hear some footsteps coming inside of the ship itself, and you can hear voices from outside audibly as you hear Shady Tom go, "I hope you enjoy your ship. Say hello to Roger for me."
This one would like to know if this is the drink he asked for a few weeks ago, if it's finally arrived. Was told there'd be a drink.
"Oh, before you go in," he says, and kind of goes over to you, Guska, "make sure to give him this," he says, and hands you a little canister.
What's this?
"Is Roger's drink. I said to get him one. Shady Tom's a man of his word."
After 2 weeks.
I sniff it and I'm trying to figure out what it is.
It's some sort of pungent alcohol. It seems very cheap, however.
It's weak.
It's of a
All right, I'll
Hanar
give
make
it to
from
him.
what you remember sniffing it.
I'll pass it on.
Alright, so you pass it on, and as you walk in, before you pass it on, all of you kind of walk into the central room, the area in which you have most of your consoles for using any of your computers with, and your piloting is kind of at the front end of that you can still see. It's all one joined room, and it's all very dark right now, but you do see a slightly glowing, luminous floating creature that seems to just float through the room. And you see Roger Collins. Roger, do you want to describe yourself for us, please?
This one is rather sickly, suffers from a terminal disease, so he's not looking as luminous as he once did. But this one makes up for it in cynicism.
Cool. And you also see that he's sort of adorned with a fedora on top of
yes,
his,
I forgot. This one also has a sweet hat.
Yeah, he has a sweet hat. It's a very expensive looking and fancy looking hat of a human make that seems to just sit atop his head, sort of on an angle thanks to the humps that are atop his head.
Are you Roger?
This one is indeed Roger. Are you the drink?
No. You have a drink.
Even better.
Okay.
Ugh.
Well, I'm relieved we've resolved that problem.
Meanwhile, the rest of you see a Hana with a hat on that seems to be glowing less and just looks a little bit off, like a little bit shady.
So no ice, just the drink. There was no ice.
It was a canister.
That's all I was
with
given. What
lukewarm,
do you expect from me?
I suspect what this one asked for, but apparently
I think
it's
that
fine.
given
This
that
one's fine.
Shady Tom has sold us a ship with no engines, it's not too much of a surprise that we've given a drink with no ice.
Is there any way I could have this ship without having to share it with an alcoholic jellyfish?
You take another look over the contract. Give me an investigation check this time.
Okay.
You kind of read over it, and again, it seems very airtight. And there is, in very, very fine, small print at the bottom, there is a line that just says, "You must take the alcoholic jellyfish with you wherever you go. His name is Roger Collins. He needs to be protected. He's a detective, and he's a very good friend of mine. P.S. You need to feed him and give him drink." This is part of the contract.
I'm really glad we left all this legalism to Gus.
Yeah. It seems that Gusk actually signed off against the small print as well. Like there's a little tiny box underneath where he's signed his little signature.
Thanks, Gus.
Yeah.
So what do Hadar eat? What do we have to feed him?
This one likes mind fish. You know, mind fish would be great.
Isn't that cannibalism?
Depends how you want to define it. But no, it's not. Sorry, this one's still not sure exactly where he is. What planet?
You're on the Citadel.
We're on a diving bell.
You're on the Citadel.
So, okay. The Citadel?
The Citadel.
Yes, the Citadel. You're on my ship that I'm now
Pilot
proud of.
ship, 5 arms, Citadel.
This isn't this one ship?
No, it isn't. It's my ship. My last shred of dignity. So you're not having.
Oh.
And it's about that time that Shady Tom pops his head in and sort of slicks back his hair and just kind of walks in and goes, "So, how's that dignity holding up, eh, Lysander?" He says and kind of smiles at you a bit. Yeah, you think about the ship.
You want to stop right there, Shady Tom.
Oh.
Because Lysanderoth's had enough. Alright? He's had enough. The universe has conspired against him. And he's done. He's on the edge. So for your own safety, step away.
He sort of looks at you and raises an eyebrow. Could you give me a quick intimidation check, please?
Okay.
If you don't have it, you just roll unskilled.
I'm pretty sure I have it.
Okay. Okay, so every game you get 3 tokens. Each player gets them, and they're called bennies, and they essentially can be cashed in for a reroll. Would you like to cash in a benny?
How many of those do I have?
You get 3 every single session.
Okay, I'm almost certain something more important than this is going to happen. So I'm not going to bother with it.
Alright, no worries. So Shady Tom...
So I see that you're trying to intimidate Shady Tom there. You know what? I just had a great business deal with him, so I'm gonna get in your face. No,
So that explains the
you need
one.
to back off. You need to back off, okay, Lysander? Shady Tom's been super great to us.
Yeah. Okay. I haven't really got the patience to try and have a fight with this idiot Krogan, so he's going to turn the other cheek. I think not out of sympathy, but just out of sort of shame itself.
That's fine. That's fine. As you sort of turn around and kind of just turn the other cheek, you don't want to get any deeper in this. Gusk, you see Shady Tom kind of grin a little, and he kind of pats you on the shoulder and goes, "Hey, thank you. I get intimidated quite a bit, but it's Lysander there. He's quite scary. Yeah, I've heard he's quite scary. I heard
he's
he's from a
nothing.
not very reputable place. Like a not very good
I'm really
organization."
glad everyone's getting along. It's charming.
I mean, the paperwork is... like, Aaron stretches, grabs the paperwork, looks... It seems to be perfect to me. I mean, what is there to complain?
It's about that time as well that you hear a... and you can see something just kind of almost... It's like a puck-shaped little Roomba, which seems to have
God, no.
Oh my god.
It's painted in the colours of pizza.
Oh,
The
Jesus,
pepperoni
you've been doing research.
As you see the Roomba just sort of go across the floor.
Can
cleaning.
Lysanderoth immediately... I called myself Lysanderoth. Can Lysander immediately and wordlessly destroy this Roomba?
Sure. Do you just draw your gun and just blast it?
Yes.
Or... Alright, cool. So
Yes,
if you give me a shooting
That is
check.
assuming the ship isn't going to explode if I make too much
No,
noise on it.
it won't. It's just a big hunk of metal at the minute. But if you give me a shooting check.
Okay.
Alas, poor pizza. We hardly knew you.
This one freaks
Honorable.
out and draws his gun.
You draw your gun, Lysander, almost immediately. Just quick draw it and just fire, and the Roomba just explodes into pieces as you do. It's not very good at dodging, you could say. And as it sort of explodes, and the light of its explosion and the noise just kind of reverberates around this chamber of the ship, you see Roger draw his gun with his tentacle wobbling around.
This one is not sure which of you to aim for.
Well, I'm gonna draw my gun.
Okay, everybody needs
I'm
to
gonna
chill
draw
out.
my gun as well.
This is a very short-lived stream, guys. I appreciate this.
Put it away, Jenkins, you idiot.
Why'd you shoot the Roomba, boss? Who's gonna clean the floors now?
You're going to clean the floors, Jenkins. Clean the floors.
Oh. Are you gonna shoot
so-
me as well?
Clean the floors and then you'll find out.
Oh, okay.
As
Okay,
everybody starts...
Go
As
ahead,
everybody
Rat.
starts drawing their guns, Aaron's just going to make a run for the nearest piece of cover possible.
Brilliant. So, Aaron, you look around and you find a big chair, a big old metal chair, as you sit behind it and just kind of...
Can
Well,
we please
I'm
not?
pointing my gun at everybody. I don't know who to point at.
You point it at everyone. You point it at Lysander, you move on to Robbie, you move on to the chair, which is Aaron and Roger, and then Shady Tom, who kind of goes, eh.
I'm pointing around my newly acquired mop at everyone.
Yeah, the ship came equipped with one, you just kind of flip it up. And get the map
Lysander
ready and point it at
contemplates
people.
the choices that brought him to this place. Okay, we're going to see if this ship works or what.
No,
This
wait.
one would very much like to know what is going on.
Oh, right, yeah. Roger. How you doing? I can answer that one, he says, and kind of straightens up his blue overalls a bit and goes, So I got your way out of here. As you were saying, you're in trouble. We've been needing a bit of work. Well, I got you sorted, he says, and kind of walks over to you, and you can smell pungent, cheap aftershave on him as you sort of get that distinct smell, and it stings your nostril. Well, not your nostrils, you got on. Whatever is the equivalent of a Hanar nostril, which I haven't googled yet, but we'll get on that. As you sort of sense his shadiness and his bad aroma, and he kind of leans over and goes, "Hey, I made sure that a bit of that contract made sure that get you out of here. See, Lysander here, he might seem like a big old mean man, but he's quite good, really. He's very effective at what he does, and Gusk over there, a genius, and not only that, but he knows a good deal when it comes in front of him. But aside from
I've
that,
seen no evidence of either of those statements.
but aside from that, I will give you this. I got your way out. They're gonna look after you. You're a part of their crew. You gotta give them a use, you know?
Yeah, sorry, this one, you should have just told us on that. Okay, after 4 or 5
I gotta
attempts,
do the
I
build-up,
put away
you
my...
know?
Deepest apologies. This one almost made a terrible mistake. Apologies all.
No problem. And, well, with that, would all of you lovely people love it like a drink while you're here looking at your ship? I got some.
Make this one's a double.
Alright. You get a double juice. What about the rest of you?
Rincol. Rincol? What's it pronounced as? I don't know.
Rincol.
Krogan
Rincol.
alcohol.
Krogan, I know that one. Yeah, I know the Krogan alcohol.
Lysander's okay. He doesn't want to drink. He's too on edge.
That's fair. It kind of gives you all wingers. I know what you need, Lysander. I know what you need, Robbie. I got you. He says and gets walking. What about you, Paperboy?
Well, anything that I can digest would be great, and something to make me be capable of bearing whatever is happening right now better.
Oh, you mean the good deal? Yeah, that's fine. I got you. He says and kind of walks on out.
Yes.
Leaving a lot of you
great
together.
deal.
With the remnants of the destroyed Roomba pizza on the floor.
Rest in pizza's pizza.
This one
Everybody
wants to know-
immediately
Rest
forgets
Brody,
about people.
Brody.
What?
What did you say, Dan?
I like that you've brought a banana to just hit on all the Spacedock memes at the same time.
Oh yeah.
That's what we're here for. We're
Averting
here for
emergency potassium.
Peak meme.
Okay, are we allowed to just like...
Yeah, you can
like,
roam around. You can do whatever you
can
want.
Can we take off, or can we get rid of this like wheeling and dealing guy? Is he?
This
said
one was
everything-
promised a drink, so we can't take off just yet.
Also,
Okay, hurry
Still
up.
repairs.
yeah, you currently don't have an engine.
Yeah, we don't have an
Oh
engine
yeah,
in the
we
ship.
have an engine.
What say we go around the Citadel, gang, and try and buy ourselves an engine from a slightly more reputable dealer? Not that Shady Tom isn't great.
Can't really see any alternative, so I suppose.
Sure, you do have
So-
some credits remaining from your sort of payoff you got from the Turians, as you do still have a bit of money left to get things you'll need. You do still have quite a bit of the, you do still have quite a lot of the actual ship to explore. There's the side rooms, there's the other sort of storage rooms and the like, and you do find that there is enough rooms for each of you to have one, plus there's one spare. It's actually quite a spacious ship.
Okay, at least I can get a bit of privacy from all these aliens.
Yeah, definitely. And besides that point as well, when you're looking around Lysander, you do see that, like, despite the fact that this thing is missing an engine, despite the fact that it's missing power, the rest of it is pretty good. It seems that this thing will travel with quite a bit of speed. It looks like this thing will be able to maneuver well. It looks like it's very good for a small crew to operate. And you have an ideal size of crew for this. You could possibly have another person, but at the minute, this seems actually pretty good, despite the fact that it's not got an engine.
The best feature is that any room can be a bathroom if you just, work hard enough.
You do have a space bathroom.
Wait, what?
Does this Robbie guy need like a fish tank or something, or is he okay? We do fill one of these rooms with water and like drop feed into it or something?
Oh,
this
can we get
one
one of
could
those
use a shower.
those treasure chests that like get bubbles that come out the bottom
Yeah.
as well?
This one finds that offensive stereotype, sir.
So does anybody care? No. Okay. I'll be going and I'll check the rest of the ship. I have a sneaking suspicion that some of this stuff may not be up to spec. So, with that, I do dart off of the room, and I want to investigate the ship. I want to find if there's anything wrong with it, Anything we could possibly sue and get some money from?
Ooh, Paperwork Boy wants to look at if you can sue. Yes, in fact, you can do that by all means. Do you want to give me a... You've got a bureaucracy, haven't you, as one of your skills?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Is that
yes,
what
I
gets you?
do.
Is that what gets you excited to roll there, Gav? Did you say bureaucracy? Yeah, I can do that.
Bureaucracy.
All right, give me a bureaucracy. All right, solid. So that's a nice 6. That's a yeah. That is a 6. So as you're sort of looking over these papers, and you have a look over them, and you like kind of trace your finger over a certain few lines, and you tap one of the lines in particular, and as you just feel happy inside as you've spotted a critical mistake. One of the lines of the contract for the ship that speaks of the current condition of it and the repairs is exploitable. You think you can possibly get Shady Tom to pay for the repairs?
Aha. With this wonderful piece of knowledge, I'm going to make my way back to the room with the rest of the people who I hope are not, at each other's throats by now.
No. I mean, are you guys exploring, just sort of having a look around? What are you up to, Robbie?
Well, presumably I'm out with Lysander trying to him find a engine, right?
Yeah, so you guys are kind of about to head out, and Gus, what were you doing? Were you heading out with Lysander and Jenkins, or are you...
No, I'm gonna decorate my room. I'm claiming my room.
You're claiming it. So you go into the back, you find one that's big enough for you. It's plain. There's a bed, there's no mattress on it yet, but there's like an area for a bed. It's quite plain, but pretty big. We just claim that place.
Yeah, it's mine. I'm gonna hang my most prized possession on the wall. It's the head plate from my old rival back onto Chanka, and I'm gonna mount it on my wall.
Alright, so you kind of take both hands, you take that really heavy, thick head plate. It must have been a very intimidating and tough Krogan to have such a head plate, and you place
it was so intimidating.
So intimidating, Kusk, as you put that plate on the wall, on display, and you look at it and you think, yeah, I did that.
I definitely did that.
Definitely.
Was all me.
Is this just Gusk talking to himself in his room?
Yeah.
Just pepping
You
himself
have a problem with that?
I did that, definitely.
All me. Alright, cool. So yeah, you place it on there and you're pretty happy with that. And as you're kind of leaving Lysander and Jenkins, Niranus, that's when you find your critical note that you have found. Do you say anything as they're leaving to look for a new engine? Aaron?
I'm very sorry. I was thinking about a small intrusion that happened here. So, you saw I was trying to get like a second life to...
This isn't a Call of Cthulhu game. There's not like some eldritch entity off screen grabbing you.
I didn't know we were allowed visual effects.
You're currently a Hanar. You've got enough visual effects, I think.
Well, so let me get the scene straight. They're heading out for the engine, right?
Yeah, so you've got Lysander and Jenkins both kind of got their gear together. They're getting going for the engine. They're like, right, we need to go and find a more reputable place and get an engine. They're starting to leave. They're kind of walked across the room and getting to the door. You've got Gusk, who's already left the room and gone to their own room. And you can hear some kind of crashing around in the back somewhere. And of course, Roger, who is floating about somewhere. But you found that note. You found that you actually can exploit this and get Shady Tom to pay for some of his shadiness before they leave. Do you say anything, or do you let them go and buy an engine anyway?
Oh, fuck no. So, Aaron's going to slide into the room, like screeching his heels against the floor. Oh, wait, hold on, guys! Is Shady Tom in the room?
About that time, you see Shady Tom he kind of bumps into Lysander and Jenkins near the door. He goes, I was just bringing you drinks, but, well.
Aaron's going to dramatically point at Shady Tom. You and is going to start walking like very intently towards him.
Yeah, me, he says. He kind of looks a bit confused, holding his drink still. And is sort of blocking your way out almost, and kind of steps to the side. If you need to go out, I don't know what he's doing, but he seems very keen on me.
So as he's walking towards Shady Tom, Aaron will reach into like his, his pocket, and he reaches as if he's reaching for a gun, and he starts to pull out something. He rolls off the paper. You are not following your contract.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm following my contract to the letter.
Not to the letter. And I'm going to point out with horrible accuracy exactly the horrible, unacceptable, immoral things he has done to us. Unspeakable things.
Could say shady, perhaps.
You, Shady Tom, you have not properly... Like, he raises, like, the paper and points to, like, that very small, insignificant clause in the end of the contract. You have not properly insulated your wires. And he's, like just so satisfied with himself. Aaron's just like, yeah, I'm so good at this.
Shady Tom, how could you? I would have never expected this from you.
Yeah, you guys trying to tell me that Shady Tom can't be trusted?
I appreciate your trust, Lysander and Jenkins. I see what he's doing here. He's trying to play me for a con.
I think you may have misheard us there.
What do you mean? Well,
Okay, Uranus, make yourself useful and give this guy a complete legal smackdown and get our ship fixed.
Yeah, law him good, Lysander. I mean,
I'm Lysander.
Uranus.
look,
So,
you don't need to do that. It's all right. What do I need to get you? What's the contract say that I need to get you to get you going and flying out of here?
well, as a matter of fact, that is exactly what the contract says you need to be doing. You need to get us all fixed up and flying out of here. You always an engine boy.
This one is confused. Is the ship not flying now?
No, it's missing a few key parts. We tore out the engine and a few of the generators, and a few not so important things, but we can get you something sorted.
So this ship hasn't been spinning in free fall for the past 2 weeks.
No, it was for about I think a week and a half, about 2 days, 3 days at most before we picked it up. We brought you here. We put you on this place. It's not been
Roger
spinning
throws
since
up. It's still spinning to Roger.
Roger, I think you might have a problem with the,
I was just thinking my day was incomplete without Hanar vomit.
What does Hanar vomit look like?
It's a fine mist. It's
Yeah,
just hanging in the air.
The fine mist sort of comes out from somewhere on his completely sealed looking, I don't even know what to call your face, but your Hanar head. And as it sort of like puffs out, you see it hit almost an invisible bubble and just lingers there. As, Roger, it hits your Mass Effect shield that you have in front of you that also helps you levitate.
So you're saying he's now sealed in an artificial bubble of his own gaseous vomit?
Yes.
Don't worry at all. This one excels when he's working in his own sick.
Brilliant. Alright, so, and with that in mind, you all witness this very strange occurrence, and Aaron, you're sort of taking him through all of it, and he's got thoroughly lawyered. You bureaucracied the hell out of him, and he sort of just goes, look, I'll do what you want. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to fit you an engine? I got the old one back here somewhere. I can get a few of the boys on it, he says. He kind of gestures to two of the Vulture who kind of step over. The sort of very ugly looking creatures sort of stepping forth with their massive sharp teeth and sort of grinning at you.
Is there anybody else available to install this?
Yeah, I guess I could get a few of the other guys. He says, he kind of looks into the other room and just kind of goes, hey Barry, Larry, Tom too. he says as you see 3 humans walk in, all looking kind of burly and all with bald heads and sort of long beards, each of them looking very familiar and very similar as they all kind of walk in and go, "Yeah, boss." All right,
Okay,
boys.
anybody's better than Vorcha or Gusk fixing things.
Brilliant. So he kind of nods. So what do you want? Do you want to fit the old engine? Do you want something else?
Well, I mean, the ship is technically yours. So, what do you say, Lysander?
Yeah, well, so we have multiple choices here. What have we got? Do I want to mount an engine or not? Because I definitely want to mount an engine.
Basically, he's saying, "What do you want?" And you have got a full entire chop shop worth of parts in here. There are a lot of different engines, and there's a lot of interesting ships out the front, especially. There's quite a new ship that they seem to have got. It's very shiny and nice, and has a very impressive looking engine on the back of it, from what you can see. It looks to have a lot of power to it.
Okay, well, we've got this guy over a barrel, so we may as well cannibalize engines from his fancy ship and stick it on our crap one. Let's just do that.
Oh yeah. So you go over, and you're just like, that one. He looks at it and goes, any others? We got this one. He says, he kind of gestures to another one of the ships that's significantly smaller.
No, give us a fancy one. Give us a fancy one.
You're killing me here.
Give me the fancy one, or we're gonna get Uranus on you. He'll do it again.
Like, as you say this, like, Niran slowly starts raising the paper, the contract.
Could you give me an intimidation check, please? Whichever one of you has the highest of it. In fact, all of you can roll me one. You're kind of joining. As long as one of you gets a success, you're good.
So,
I think I'm
intimidation
finally
is
done
what?
decorating my room, so I'm gonna
Intimidation is
join
intimidation.
this little
Sounds
party.
good. And yeah, don't worry. So you're kind of you start to join this party.
I forgot how to roll
God.
on skill. There we go. Oh, shite!
Oh wow. Okay,
Oh, you
Lysander.
rolled a minus. Oh, I rolled a -1.
Yes, Robbie's not very
Alright.
intimidating.
So, we have some interesting rolls here. So, Lysander, you've got an 11 as you say this, and you know the good one. Robbie, you're floating about, but your little mist of sick doesn't seem to be very intimidating to anyone.
Roger.
That's
Robbie.
the wrong
Roger,
one.
even sorry. Wait,
Robbie's
Robbie,
the-
no,
Robbie's
Robbie,
the
yeah,
one
of course. Too many R's in this game.
Yeah, I didn't do
Robbie,
roll intimidation.
you're just kind of stood back a bit, and you're just you're trying to look intimidating, and you just sneeze. You do have crit fail, and Niranus, you apparently, even unskilled with a -2 to your D4, managed to get a 13 on the wild dice, which is pretty impressive.
It's the power of paperwork.
Power of bureaucracy, as you between yourself, Lysander, and yourself, Aaron, you saying the words you say, and of course looking quite intimidating, the ex sort of agent of Cerberus that you are, still, physically fit and intimidating in your own way. And of course, Uranus, with the power of paperwork on your side, you intimidate Shady Tom an incredible amount, and whatever fears he had about the person he was selling this other ship to, he sort of pales a bit, and you see him sweating even more as his face is sort of shining in the light a little bit, and he sort of wipes it with his blue overalls and shifts back his hair once more and just kind of goes, alright, okay, yeah, you get whatever you want. You can have whatever you want, just take it. I'll get the boys to put it in.
Okay, let's do it. Let's cannibalize this fancy ship.
The ship is now officially powered by bureaucracy. Thanks to Uranus.
Basically.
What kind of shower does the fancy ship have?
The fancy
Is
ship.
it better than our shower?
It is a lot better than your shower. It is like twice the
Can we
size
get-
and twice the power.
Can we get the shower too? Is the
It
shower
has
transferable?
settings for different sort of races as well. Like it has Krogan mode, and it has like Hanar mode and human mode. It's quite an
Can we get
impressive
that shower?
Lysandroth is not excited about the multicultural shower. No, I called him Lysandroth again.
Lysanderoff, yeah.
Damn it.
Your Cerberus days of sort of being human first are very much coming in as you're like, shower. But nonetheless, Roger, he'll give you whatever you want right now. Like Shady Tom is very intimidated and very happily sort of will rip out the impressive shower and put it in your entire ship. It's going to take a bit of work though, so they're ripping out the shower for you. They're ripping out the massive engine of this really, really cool looking, seemingly battle ready ship that they've got, and they will also throw in some complimentary mints. But what else would you want?
Well, this one calls the shower as his room. Just want to get that said.
Can we get another shower then?
You want your normal shower and you want your big shower.
I'd just like to be able to have a shower without a jellyfish with a hat on joining me every time.
Why does a Hanar need a shower? Aren't they just like water?
This one drinks a lot of alcohol, and that dries me out.
Right, okay. Lysander didn't want that much information and is now sort of shuffling away.
Then Lysander shouldn't have asked.
So
after you two have this small exchange, like Aerins just slowly moves towards like Lysander, and he's like, "Sir, I don't actually think we can install things that were not part of the ship before we bought it. I mean, we need to repair it. It's not about. I don't think we can do this by the contract."
Are you implying that I have lacking engineering knowledge because that's unacceptable from a Turian pencil push? I was salvaging ships when you were, I don't know, using crayons. Doing your taxes with crayons.
You know, after this, like, Erin's just slowly going, like, to move away, back away.
Okay, I don't care if you have to duct tape the engine on. I need to get out of here. Like, we need to be free of this place and these people. So just fix the ship.
So
aren't Turians older than humans by like a lot?
It's unclear.
Lysander has never done any proper research into the specifics of Turian livelihood.
yeah, I'm gonna say I think Gab might have with his massive amount of research he's done for this game. Like it's staggering.
Yep.
So
what
does the lawman say?
Well, it's actually unclear. It's never specified in the game, but apparently it is about the same ballpark as humans in the 22nd century, in that it's definitely more than a Solarian, but significantly less than either Krogan or an Asari.
Brilliant. Thank you, font of knowledge.
The more you know.
So, brilliant. So yeah, they seem to kind of look around and start ripping out pieces of this ship. Shady Tom does come back over to you again, sort of slicking back his hair again as he sort of seems to be chewing something, and he's looking like a bit of a kicked dog. He's head down, and he's very sort of shy about you and worried about both of you, especially you, Aaron, especially you with your contract powers. As he walks over and just kind of goes, "All right, look, we'll do it, but it'll take a bit. We'll need at least a day. You might want to go back to your offices or whatever you want to do, but I'll get it in. The new shower, the secondary shower. We'll get your engine in somehow, and we'll make sure that you got all your other bits in there. We'll make sure it's all repaired. Can't say Shady Tom did you wrong, because I'm doing you right now."
I mean, you did us wrong when you gave us a broken ship with a free Hanar. Now you're sort of accommodating for that a bit.
Or maybe I knew this would happen all along, and I was testing you, because I knew you could do better.
Okay, I don't need any more reasons to hate this guy.
Anyway, you should get going. It's going to be a lot of boring work out here. We're going to have to rip out a lot of parts, move them over here, fit them in somehow. We'll redo the paint job for you as well, free of charge.
Oh, you'll redo the paint job? Oh, that's certainly considerate. Let's get rid of the old racing stripes. Let's have a far more neutral and sensible paint job.
No. I will die on this hill.
Yeah, I'm with Gusk. I like the flaming bits. They're cool.
Yeah, I like to imagine Gusk has like stepped out onto the platform that kind of leads down from where you step into the ship, and you're just like, no.
Lysander, Shady Tom said they make the ship go faster. I'm inclined to believe Shady Tom. He's done.
Why?
He may have faltered in the past, but he seems like a man of integrity at heart.
Okay, Lysander contemplates suicide. He's so done with these people. One human that he knows is just an idiot, and he's got no shred of dignity left.
All right.
This one just has a quick question for Lysander.
Okay.
Apparently this one is a part of your crew. This one does not know what the crew is doing or what the plan is for the crew. This one would like to help, but this one does not know what to do.
Well, I guess we were going to go and back to taking salvage contracts as soon as we have a ship that moves. But right now, I just kind of want to get off the city.
This one thinks we should find a bar.
This
That
one
doesn't surprise
agrees.
me.
I agree with this one.
Aring agrees with that one.
I agree too.
Go on,
Okay.
Lysander.
You
Okay,
gotta
I-
celebrate the successful acquisition of a new ship with some,
Okay, Lysander doesn't have the willpower to not go along with this, so he's just going to do it.
This one is just a bit short on credits right now. If that's a fine, maybe someone could pitch in for this one.
Robbie, you can pay for it.
You got it, boss.
Thank you very much.
I mean, it's only my money in the end anyway, so...
Yeah, he's gonna need that.
Doesn't he have the health insurance money, though? The life insurance?
Most of that went into your business venture, which is mostly gone now. A few bad investments.
Does that make me the largest percentage owner of the ship?
Technically, yes.
Sweet, dude. I'll be sure to remind Lysander of that very frequently.
Yay.
Brilliant. So so you guys begin to head out, and you're gonna go. Are you going back to your offices? You wanted to go anywhere else? Maybe go and get a few drinks to celebrate your new ship.
I just want to remember someone suggesting a bar. That sounded like a good idea. Don't remember who it was said that, but it seemed...
Let's ask Shady Tom for a recommendation for
Oh,
bars.
for God's sake. Let's not.
You go over and are you going to ask him?
Yeah, Shady Tom, where's a good place to get a drink around here?
There's a good place around the corner, about a 10-minute walk away. You'll find it. It has a big, you know what a pig is, don't you?
I'm familiar with them, yes.
Alright. So, so if you make sure to go there, look for the one with the pig, with the rocket up its posterior. It's called the Flying Pig. Go check it out. That one's good. It does cheap drinks. It does one free for every single person that enters there. It's pretty good. Also does food. I don't suggest it. I heard that thing can even give a Krogan food poisoning.
Impossible. I'm
That's
gonna
what
eat it
I
all.
thought. He says he looks at you.
So basically-
The crew of the Flaming Pyjak are going to go to the Flying Pig. How appropriate.
Based on how trustworthy Shady Tom has been so far, this is probably just going to turn out to be an airlock or something.
That'll teach you for showing me paperwork.
So actually, that's the cycle he does. He's kind of like a mini Reaper in that he has a cyclic, thing he goes through. He gets a shitty ship, gets people to buy the ship, then spaces the people who bought the ship, and then sells the ship again.
Nah, Shady Tom wouldn't do that.
Never would. Right, so you go off to your lovely pub down the road then as you make your way to this bar, and as predicted, outside there is indeed a sign that just says the Flying Pig, and there is a pig with indeed a rocket up its posterior that is flying into space. There's a moon at the edge, like a crescent moon in the distance. And you see quite a few people outside. There's a good mix of different types here. You can see quite a few humans there of seemingly more trade workers and sort of scrappers and, lower paid jobs kind of all stood outside and having a drink. And you can hear quite a rowdy commotion inside, and you can see a couple of Krogans that seem to be headbutting each other over and over again on a table. and you can see a couple of Hanar that are floating in the corner, just seemingly glowing different colours at each other. And aside from that, there seems to be quite a few people sad about having drinks. The music's quite thumping in there the moment you get in.
Yeah, this one floats over to the bar immediately.
As you do, you're met by an older-looking lady. She looks to be in maybe her 50s and has kind of greying hair tied back in a ponytail, human, and just kind of looks over to you and sort of rubs her chin a bit and then, so, what can I get you?
This one would like a cantha if you got it.
Cantha? Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
Asari liquor. Cuts down on hangovers.
Oh yeah, we have some Asari stuff in here. Yeah, a couple of them coming in and drink. 1 second, he says. As she goes down to the till and goes underneath and pulls out a canister for you that just has a paper sticker put on it that just says Asari juice. It's unfortunately named, to say the least.
This one would just like to mention that this one's associate will be paying the picking up the tab for this, so just get that out of the way.
This one's associate will be paying up the tab for this. Get on it, Jenkins.
You got it. Can I get? I want one of those fancy Asari juices too. They look good.
Yeah, you want some Asari juice? That's fine. I'll get you that. She says, she kind of goes under and gets it. Yeah. She puts it on the side and gives you another canister that just says Asari juice on it in a little canister. It's quite good. It's quite a good drink. It's nice. It's has a bit of a punch to it, a bit of a tingle on the way down.
You want a can of Asari juice, Gusk and Lysander and Neuranus? Drinks on me. Drinks all round.
Lysander does need a drink at this point, quite desperately. He's gonna have a human drink. He's gonna have like a can of Galahad or something.
Can I have your finest human beverage?
Galahad is not human drink, Dan.
You get a canister that is brought out for you, and they place it down and then pour it into a glass for you, Lysander. It seems to have a bit of froth on the top of it as it's filled, and on the side of the canister it says the Galahad.
Great, so I've got off-brand British booze.
Yes.
Brilliant.
It's either that or Blue Lightning.
Okay, we haven't quite stooped low enough for Blue Lightning. When we get to the end of this series, Lysander will be on the Blue Lightning. He'll be hanging around outside Bargain Booze with his Blue Lightning, moaning about Hannah.
Well, either way, that'll do, yeah. What about you, sir? She says, looking up at you, Gusk.
I'm not paying attention to what's happening at the bar. I'm watching the headbutting Krogans.
Yeah, they're just continually over and over again on one of the tables.
I'm thinking I'm gonna go over there.
Alright. You head over, and as you kind of wind your way through the crowd, pushing your way through most of them, a lot of the drunks sort of stumble in and just go, and then seeing you're a Krogan and just sort of drinking and carrying on. You then see these two Krogans sat at the table as they both turn around and look at you as they headbutt one more time and then turn. Another one of our kind. Come, sit down, one of them says and gestures to the chair. What's your name?
I'm gonna have a rank call.
We gotta go to the bar to get one of them.
I know.
Get one for us too.
You implying that I don't know? I know how it works.
Maybe I am. He says one of them, the older one, seems to have a very strong-looking head plate and seems to have a scar over one of their eyes.
I bet you 100 credits I can eat everything off this menu and not vomit.
Vomiting's the jellyfish's job.
They look at you, and both of them turn to each other, and they go, huh. Well, it looks like this one has the quads for it. Well then, let's see what you got. One of them says and sort of looks over the menu. You know, given that you're trying this, I don't mind paying for it out of my own pocket. But how about this? If you succeed, they'll buy you 5 rankars. If we win, if you're sick, you buy us our drinks for the next week. Don't worry, you don't need to
Done.
stick around. We'll tell you a price. They say as they both kind of grin at you a bit.
Can we even afford that?
Hell no.
Great. Gusk is a colossal liability.
Done.
All right, one of them says, and goes over to the bar, and the rest of you, as you're getting your drinks served. Jenkins, what do you want? You were getting Asari juice, didn't you? So Asari juice.
I'm getting Asari juice.
Asari juice, human beverage. And what about you, Aaron? What did you get?
Just the usual Drossix Blue.
You get a Drossix Blue. It's called Drogix Yellow, but you get it. Everything seems to be very much a rip-off here. As you're given this sort of horrible-looking drink, and the barmaid kind of goes, "Oh, wait here, I got something else for that," as she goes into another drawer and brings out what seems to be some small green and blackish object, as she just plops it into the top. Makes a show of it as well, very artfully. As for those of you who know olives, it's an olive.
That reminds this one.
Into your drink.
Are there any candied cherries?
Alright, yeah, candied. Yeah, we have something like that, she says, and goes under the bar and brings out what seems to be a plain white packet of something. And she kind of puts it on the counter. There you go, it's not really cherry, it's dried fruit, but it'll do.
Okay. This one turns to Robbie Jenkins and says, "You're this one's best friend."
Oh, I've never had a best friend before.
Can't imagine why.
I've never had anyone buy this one a drink before.
Didn't you just get Shady Tom to get you a drink?
This one forgot about that.
I'm
Somewhere in the
getting the
distance,
feeling that
Shady
this one
Tom's like,
forgets about a lot of things.
Thanks, Jerry.
You're welcome.
God damn it. Alright, cool. So, yeah, good conversation, Jerry. And, you get your dried fruit, and you've got all your drinks delivered to all of you. And they're pretty bad. They're very much cheap rip-offs of all the drinks that you've ordered. Aside from the Asari juice, that tastes quite good. That seems quite
Does
a
it?
good one. Tastes like blueberries. Still.
I'm shocked that I didn't have to take some sort of constitution test after drinking the Asari juice.
No, you're good. You're good. At least you are. Aaron, however, as you're drinking yours, could you give me a quick, let's have a look. Believe it is vigor check. I was going to call it vitality and then constitution. I was like, I've been running that many systems. Yeah, a quick vigor check, please.
Oh boy. You know, I actually made the effort to look for like an actual dextro amino drink.
Yeah.
And this is what I get for all my effort. Okay. Thank you for your support, Larissa.
Does he just failed to drink it? Or has he just missed his head or like spilled it or something?
That is amazing. Alright, so Aaron, you're drinking it, and you're drinking your drink, and you start to feel a bit warm, and that little object, that little black and green object, does slip into your maw, your gizzard, so to speak, as you're eating it, and you bite into it despite yourself, and your mouth is filled with what feels like a very strong flavor, and then you feel a small wriggling in your mouth.
A small what in my
Wriggling.
mouth?
Are we in Wetherspoons?
Oh, no.
Like many small little wriggling things in your mouth.
Aaron is just going to spit out whatever the hell. Do I need to make a spitting check?
To do what, sorry?
Do I need to make a spitting check?
No, you don't need to make a spitting check. You could spit it out and just get that out of you as soon as possible as you sort of spit it onto the counter, and those of you who are nearby can see many little wriggling white bugs that seem to kind of crawl out and just wriggle around on the counter.
This one wants to know how come he got bugs.
Oh, is that the bug ones? Oh god, oh sorry about that. You like bugs, though, don't you?
Lysander is giving the Flying Pig 1 star on TripAdvisor.
I'm Captain Lysander, and this is my least favourite bar on the Citadel.
Oh, topical Mass Effect joke. Well done.
Okay. So you begin to look at that, and you see these little wriggling bugs. And about that time, Gus kind of comes over and steps in and begins to order drinks. Are you alright, love? What can I
Fine.
get for you?
I need everything that's on the menu. Also, a round of ring calls for my buddies over there.
Ooh.
As soon as you say that, Aaron's just like he was staring at the spiders in disbelief, and he stops and he stares at you. Wait, where's Larissa in the stream? I think she's up here. She stares at you in disbelief. Excuse me?
I made a bet. I need every food item on the menu.
What do you have to do if you lose?
That's buy their drinks for a week.
Oh, so if you win, they get to buy your drinks for a week.
No, just for the night.
Oh. Okay.
Gus's propensity for deal making continues unabated, I see.
So,
Yep.
as Gus says that, Aaron's just going to try and reach over and put his hand on the back of the Krogan, give a little back pats on the Krogan. You are a very keen negotiator, Gus, but I think this time this may not have been the right choice. He says very diplomatically.
What are you
that's
trying to
fair.
say?
Sorry?
What are you trying to say?
Yeah, what are you trying to say? Are you telling me that you think that Gus can't eat everything on the menu? Have a little faith.
Because I can.
Because he
I
can.
can eat everything on the menu.
Jenkins,
Even
how much money do
The
you have?
dextro amino stuff?
I had lots, but then Lysander got me to spend it all on the presumably I've got enough for some drinks. I don't know. I just kind of let him take care of it. Lysander, how much money do I have?
Yeah, I have a
Okay.
couple hundred credits left.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Okay,
This
that's
one
helpful.
thinks we should bet a couple hundred credits on Gusk here.
Yeah. I'm with this one.
Aaron
Okay.
looks in disbelief at that one.
So as I understand it, I actually have less control over my own money than Jenkins, so I'm not sure how much I can do to stop this.
It's Jenkins, not the captain. This one is confused.
No.
Okay. So, are you placing your bet?
Yes.
Alright, so you've got a few choices of people that look shady enough in this bar to do it. There is a group of humans on one of the tables who all seem to be wearing sort of dirty overalls as they're all drinking their off-brand drinks. And they seem to just kind of look over at you every now and then, giving you quite a ragtag, interesting group. You've got the two floating Hanar in the corner that are still shifting colours and having a conversation over in that corner. And you also do see a group of Vorcha in the sort of back end of the bar.
This one thinks the choice is obvious. This one will go to the Vorcha. Yeah, so I guess I'm just this one bets 200 credits that Krogan Gusk over there can eat everything on the menu.
Really glad we don't have anything more important we should be doing right now.
No, not yet. Wait for that. It's all right. This is a nice, chill, lose all your money session. The next one you'll be on with your adventures, of
This
course.
one will not be losing.
Hopefully not. All right, cool. So you kind of go over to the Vorcha, who all kind of turn to you and look at you. What's it want?
This one bets a couple hundred credits. Let's say 600 credits that that Krogan over there can eat everything on the menu.
Okay.
They look at each other and sort of seem to have a sure thing as they look over and go, "We'll take it."
Wonderful. I guess I go back to... Sorry?
He's betting 600 credits when, like, Jenkins has, like, a couple hundred.
Yeah, isn't that more than I have?
It is.
Yep.
But, Roger, could you make me a quick gambling check, please, whilst you're there, to see if you can
Certainly.
get the odds to go your way a bit more?
I remember how to do that, but just in case... Oh, wait, no, I do remember how to do that.
Yeah, you click on your skills tab and you roll it. There we go.
Nailed it.
Would you like to use a Benny to re-roll that? You get 3 a session, you can re-roll any roll.
Yes! This one will take that one.
Much better. All right, so on your 11. You kind of manage to whittle the odds a bit, and you actually do manage to get it 10 to 1.
This
good
one
odds.
likes them odds.
So are we going to get a 10 to 1 payout if Gusk manages to eat everything on the menu?
If Gusk manages to eat everything on the menu and not vomit by the end of this night, then you will gain 6,000 credits.
So the stakes are high. I like it.
And I guess I say, Jerry, I got great news. We're going to be very wealthy.
You know what? Thanks for the support, Roger.
Oh, this one is very happy how things are going.
Me too. And I have absolute and utmost faith that our friend Gusk can eat everything on the menu, which you definitely can, right, Gusk?
Yes.
Okay, good. That's all I needed to hear.
During this entire exchange, Erin has just been staring with a fixed stare at, like, the floating jellyfish. It's like, why? Just, like, mouthing the word, why?
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Okay, if it all goes wrong, we can just get Naranis to lawyer like us out of it. It'll be fine.
That's not how bureaucracy works.
You're constantly lawyered up. That's how this works.
We've got a pocket lawyer, so we can throw him out at any time.
Okay, cool. So, with your pocket lawyer, you're sat there as this is going on. Gusk, you make it back over to the table with your rancors, and you take it over, and you place it down. The two look at you, and kind of give you another smile and go, "Yeah, well, I'm glad to see you back. So, are we doing this?"
Yes. In fact, those Vorcha over there have also joined this bet.
They have.
I'm gonna look over at Roger. I'm like, because I don't know how betting works. But there's a lot of
odds?
I'm gonna guess 10 to 1.
Well, I'm willing to take that. All right. How much you put down?
300 credits.
We'll get in on that. They go and place the money down as they put down an additional 300 on the table, expecting at least.
Whoa,
something.
additional?
Additional.
Hang on a minute. How much fictional money are we risking here? It's stacking up.
I think at this point we're about like 5 times more than we actually have.
Yes. You are at this point about 5 times more than you actually have.
Right.
This one moves just a bit over to the exit. Just not, slowly, just slowly edging towards the exit.
Probably smart move.
Just, gonna watch from a bit of a distance.
Yeah.
All right,
So-
let's do this.
As you begin to sort of watch from a distance, Gusk, you get ready. You sit down in your seat, and you're brought over platter after platter after platter of food, and this stuff looks quite okay, actually. There's a few human burgers, and there is a cooked Pyjak as well, like not cut in any way, just like a whole Pyjak that's been cooked and just dumped on your table.
So Shady
Has
Tom
it been-
wasn't even right about the food being bad.
Oh,
He was
yeah,
wrong about
so-
everything.
But by the way, has that Pyjak been flamed?
Yes, it's been flamed. It's a flamed Pyjak. You could say it's a smoked barbecued Pyjak. As you have this place in front of you, and also then you see why this place is not as good. As you see the barmaid kind of bring over a couple of things. As she brings over a bowl which seems to have some wriggling creatures inside of it. She brings over what looks to be mashed potato, but the potato itself has little sticks of like spicy sausage just slammed into it, almost like little pepperami-esque things, like the spicy little thin sausage as they jam them all in, and then she just seems to get some green liquid and pours it over, and the green liquid bubbles and smokes quite a lot, and she brings over a mass of just food on your table, Gusk, and it looks horrible. But to you, it probably looks quite appetizing, actually, given where you're from.
I can eat it.
Yeah, the Pyjak's actually pretty good. One of them says as he looks at you. The one with the scar over his eye looks at you again. Well then, kid. Good going. Let's see how you do this.
And I'm gonna mow down. I'm gonna start with that green, bubbly mashed potato.
Yeah, you go for the green, bubbly mashed potato. And could you give me a quick vigor check, please? Alright, an 11. That's very good. So, Gusk, you kind of just take that straight in, eat it immediately, and chomp it down. And after you've done that, the next dish, what do you wish to tackle?
Let's scarf down the human burgers.
The human burgers. Very suspiciously named, but it does say beef.
Yeah, that sounds quite sinister.
It's actually made of Soylent Green.
Yeah, Soylent Green. It's a company, If you met me another vigor check, please. Yeah, you managed to scarf down the burgers. It's not actually that bad. These human foods are quite small. And you met with the.
Can we all gather around and start cheering Gusk on?
Yeah, you certainly can.
I yell out, or this one yells out, "Good Gusk. The key is not to pace yourself."
I've actually heard that as well. Your body doesn't know you're stuffed until like 20 minutes after you've eaten the food. So if you just get it all down really quickly, you'll be fine.
Nice.
Alright,
I'm gonna dive into the next one.
Sounds good. And as you're sort of scarfing all of this down, just over and over again, jamming it down your maw, you actually get a +2 to your rolls, thanks to the team sort of cheering you on and giving you the good advice. And you're just feeling good.
Hey.
Hell yeah, I could do this. I'm Gusk.
It's the power of friendship.
And could you give me another vigor check, please, with a +2? Wow. Okay. Alright. Gusk, you pile down the rest of the food and you're met with the final bit. That strange soup with the wriggling things in it. There's a bit left and you've got to finish that up. It's the last of them, but so far your stomach's fine.
Yay.
But you see the Krogans kind of look at each other as they see you going for that and they're like, this one will get you.
Let's do it.
That's the spirit.
That's not at all ominous. Like, not in the slightest.
You still get the +2.
Alright. Still get the +2. Alright, I'm
you
rolling
get your
it.
power of friendship bonus. Nice, still on a 7. Your guts begin to churn as you sort of begin to down this soup and you feel these wriggling things going down into your stomach. But aside from that, you're sort of a bit grossed out by it, but you feel like you're gonna probably upchuck, and then you just sort of hold your mouth closed and just... And after about 30 seconds of that, it settles.
Roger throws in the background.
I was just about to say we've had enough alien vomit for one day, but never mind.
Yeah, Roger, a poof of dust comes out of your mouth again and hits your bubble.
Yeah. Not as much as before, though. I think it's getting better.
He's on the dry heaves.
So how much has Gus got left to get through now?
He has completed it. He's dusted up.
Oh,
all
he's
the
done
plates.
And I'm gonna give a big ol' burp. People down the hall are gonna hear it.
Alright, give me a vigor check as well on that to just see if you burp real loud.
You should not.
Wow,
have to.
okay.
It's super
Wow.
loud.
So, we're going to cut away from this scene, and outside there's let's say, a Volus that's walking home. And he's had a long day, and he's walking down the streets in the district that you're in. He's completely across the other end. And as he sort of walks and takes a breather, the wheezing breaths coming in once more, he just hears in the distance. He looks around to see what happened, but they can find no person who burped near them. He managed to be heard across the entire sector almost.
Let's all cheer for Gusk! Hooray, Gusk! Good job!
Gusk.
Gusk!
Gusk, gain a Benny for your impressive time of eating there. That's brilliant. And also the rest of you have got quite a significant payout, it seems.
Yeah, we're like rich now.
Yeah, I'm certainly glad that worked out.
As you
What
see
do
the
you mean,
vulture sort of
us?
looking
This one made the bet.
a bit worried, and they begin to sort of they slide over a card that they have and just kind of go, "That's on there."
So we got 6,000 credits and free drinks all night.
You have more than that. In fact, you have managed to gain 9,000 credits. It seems other people were betting as well. And a lot of the patrons look a bit dejected as they sort of like thought this was a sure thing. Like, he was gonna go down. Gusk was gonna go down. They knew it, especially when he got to that soup. And they're like, yeah, we know what's happening there. He's gonna go down, but he didn't. And they all look a bit like, oh, shit.
Yeah, can we start laughing and jeering at the rest of the Krogans that thought you couldn't do it?
That doesn't sound like a good idea.
You can do that.
That sounds like a
I'm gonna
great
do
idea.
it.
I mean, you can, but should you?
Also, what kind of restaurant assembles a bet based on the fact their own food is inedible?
This was an
Literally
independently
flying
organized bet.
But this was independently organized.
Okay, we should probably get out of this bar before we're all lynched.
The Krogans are just sort of jeering at them, sort of look a bit more tense, and one of them slams his fist on the desk and stands up and goes, "You cheated!"
How could he
How
have
could
cheated?
I cheated?
I don't know, some sort of... He sort of looks really annoyed, and you see the other Krogan, the older one with the scar on his eye, looks over and just goes, "Ramar, stop. This isn't a way to act." And the younger one seems to look over at him and goes, and sort of sits down.
Okay then.
"What clan are you from?" he asks Gusk.
Knockmore.
Knockmore. Interesting. I'm from the Erdnot clan.
Well met.
He nods. I have a request.
Alright.
You, me, headbutting contest.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Alright.
Let's do it. He says as he sort of sits down and gets ready and like levels his head so that his head plates are showing these sort of multi-tiered plates. Very older Krogan, looks mighty strong and impressive.
I want to lean over to Roger and say, I reckon we could put another bet on this. How about you?
This one thinks that is a great idea. How
How
much
mu-
money do we got?
I reckon a solid like 9,000 credit bet is pretty sensible. I believe in our man Gusk.
15,000.
Lysander jumps out the window.
Just dives out.
Self-defenestration.
So,
Okay, I guess we're betting all of our newly obtained wealth on this headbutt contest.
how much are you betting on this?
I'm pretty sure Roger said what was it? 18,000 you said?
20,000. You
Okay.
never walk away from the table when you're hot.
Never.
That's fair.
Yeah.
At some point, Roger became in charge of my money, so it's all out of my hands now.
Okay. So you place your amount on there, and after you placed your bet, they kind of don't seem as keen on doing it this time, and they're kind of like, the Vulture were like, no, we have no money left.
What do they got?
We have this. One of them says they put down a gun.
Is it any good? Anyone know about guns?
I should know about guns, right? I used to be in
you
the Marine Corps. Okay.
Do you do like an examine or something, or examine the gun, Jenkins?
Yeah, give me a quick.
Useful.
Just give me a shooting check. Actually, you can kind of.
The shooting check.
Yeah, you can just do a shooting check. That should do. Let me just remind myself of which pistol this is now.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Oh, I'm an idiot, apparently, even with the...
This isn't a
It's a
human.
banana.
It seems to be a one that's, at least from what you know, this is one that's been made by the Batarian State Arms Company. And it seems to be not the best made one. It's a judgment pistol, basically.
I guess I turn to Rob and I say, this one thinks they're cheating us, Jerry.
Yeah. We all of our guns are better than that, I think. Probably.
Yeah, I think so.
They are, all of yours are actually way better than that. Like, these are, however, Vulture that are camped up in probably one of the cheapest, like, bars in the Citadel. So, you know, you're getting what you came for.
Okay. I'm going to bet my very expensive gun against it, because I have absolute faith in Gusk that he can win.
Alright, you put it down, and they're like, okay. That's
Okay,
fine.
I'm going to lean into Gusk and tell him, Gusk, my dearly departed father gave me that gun, and I would be very upset if anything were to happen to it. But I'm glad that it's you're the one that's doing this, because I know that you can't go wrong.
This one has never gone wrong, ever. And anything you've heard to the contrary, don't worry.
All right, well,
Okay.
a lot riding on this. Let's do
Certainly is.
it.
Okay. So, you sit down, you square up against this Krogan. And he sort of looks at you and grins a little. This isn't the first time I've had to go against someone as young as you. Your head plate's probably still soft.
No, my head plate's the toughest.
I can hear that by your voice.
Shut up!
Alright, come on then, he says and sort of squares up.
All right, and I'm gonna headbutt him.
Alright, let's go as you start your headbutting competition. Could you give me a strength check, please?
Hey, Lysander.
Whoa.
Oh dear, okay.
I think
So-
we should get out of here, Lysander.
You got a 13 on yours.
Yeah, it's
They
looking
got
like
an
a good
18.
idea.
So, you begin to headbutt with this Krogan and they... And on the third headbutt, you are sent off the back of your chair. It kind of hits the ground and you're left on your back. And the other Krogan sort of lets out a very... It seems to be a very guttural chuckle. He's like... and
Roger
steps
throws
up.
his drink at this guy.
Oh dear.
Alright, no problem. Could you give me a
No
quick,
problem.
Could you give me a quick agility check, please?
Sure. I know how to do that. 1 second.
Oh, actually, you got throwing. Sorry.
No, I don't got thrown.
In fact, make a just an unskilled check then, please.
Okay, wait, I do have agility. Should I do that, or...?
Just unskilled on that then. I remember there's a throwing skill in this game. I'm running way too many games.
Alright, so what
Roger
am I
has
doing?
no fine motor skills at all.
Wait, unskilled check then? Okay, I'll do
Unskilled
that.
check, yeah. Oh my god.
I did it!
Luckily for all of you, most likely. Roger, kind of seeing this, you throw a glass across the room. But with your tentacles and your drunkenness, you sort of fling it, and it just sort of goes into the distance, tumbling off, and hits one of the vulture in the side of the head as they kind of go, and just sort of rub their head and look around, but can't see who threw the glass. Meanwhile, the other Krogan kind of stands up and walks around the table before kind of offering you a hand, Gusk, and sort of gives you a bit of a smile. You know what? For someone with younger plates on your head, you're pretty good. Strong.
I want to try again.
Alright. Give me another strength check.
Come on, let's go again.
Best out of 3.
Best out of 3, yeah. We'll go with that.
Alright,
Strength
check.
please. Do you want to use a Benny on yours?
Please use
Yeah.
a penny.
Okay, you cash in one of your bennies, you get a reroll. Roll again.
Yeah,
While
please
this
use
is
a penny.
happening, could I get another drink? I lost mine.
Unfortunately,
You
you
just
can
failed
still
that
keep
twice.
rolling the bennies if you
I
want.
did.
You've got 3, you've used
did.
1. You've got 2 left.
Wait, you gave me a Benny. I got 4.
Yeah,
You've got
you
4
gave her
bennies,
a
so you've got
penny.
3 bennies left now, so...
Alright, I'm
Oh,
doing another Benny.
Okay.
That's better, okay.
Hey!
So you begin to sort of collide heads with this Krogan again, and this time you send him staggering back, and he just kind of goes... 1-1. Last time, man. First to 2.
Okay.
Give me one more
Larissa, I
strength
never
check, please.
asked you anything. Please use the penny. I
Oh,
never
this one might
asked
be
you
good for you.
anything,
This one
Larissa.
might be good for you. And this time
Yay!
you win once again. That's Gus.
Thank
You
God for
headbutt
that.
and headbutt and headbutt, and then he falls off the side of his chair and just kind of starts laughing on the ground before he stands up. He goes, "You know what, kid? You're pretty good. I'll give you that. You definitely
This
have
is-
the quads.
The best moment of my life.
You know, I've never seen such a small Krogan pack such a punch," he says as he kind of gives you a pat on the shoulder.
Ah. Get this one a drink.
No. It's our responsibility. Drinks are on us tonight for you and your friends.
I turn to, or this one turns to Jenkins, and I says, Jerry, the situation has gotten out of control. I think they're gonna kill each other. We have to stop this.
I don't really know a lot about Krogans. It looks fine to me, Roger.
This one knows what's happening. This is getting bad.
Okay, I defer to you. You do look like you know what you're talking about. You did just drop your drink, though. I couldn't tell if you're trying to throw it or not.
I attempt to draw my pistol and point it at that Krogan.
All right, you. Okay. I will say,
Why must you ruin it
Aaron,
for me?
Lysander, you are nearby at the moment. I believe you were kind of keeping back when it was,
Unfortunately for us.
and you do see Roger going for his gun.
Okay, can I try and stop this
You
idiot
certainly
from
can.
escalating this situation any further? Slap his tentacle out of the way or whatever.
Could you both give me an agility check or an unarmed check, whichever is your best,
Okay.
basically.
You grab his tentacles and tie a knot with them.
Okay, you're looking at a beat of 4.
Hold on a second, where's agility?
It's just under the main page, so under core, I think it is.
In basic info.
Basically,
Nah,
that's
there we
what
go.
it's called. On a
Can
5.
I
Okay,
use
so
my mulligan on this one?
you could use your Betty if you want to use it on this one, yeah?
Alright.
Oh my god, alright.
Oh my god.
Do you want to use the Benny, Dan?
Mark,
Uh,
Mark.
So I guess this one draws his pistol and says, Gusk won fair and square. There's no need for this. Just give us the money and we'll be out of here.
As you do that, you hear a lot of kind of clicking and drawing as, like, pretty much the
Oh,
entire
God.
bar draw their own guns and point them at you, Roger.
You know they already gave us the money, right, Roger?
This one did not know that. This one wishes you'd mentioned it before.
The bigger Krogan, the one that you pointed the gun at that's been with Gus, kind of looks at you and goes, "But this isn't a smart decision. You might want to put that away."
I agree.
This one asks, which one of you should I be looking at?
What?
Are there not two of you?
Yeah, he says as
I'm here.
the bigger one stood.
I
with-
see 4 Krogan. Or maybe 2, I can't tell. This one can't tell.
The Krogan kind of looks over and goes, "Maybe you should see with that, you jellyfish."
This one doesn't like your tone.
God help us.
This one is getting emotional.
Everything's gone bananas.
Way. Oh my god. I'm not on to clip that, but if not...
Oh, no worries.
Yeah,
Somebody
so-
will definitely clip that.
People have already been clipping the stream. It's only a matter of time.
Hananas must not be lost. Right, okay, so... Yeah, you... The bar is still kind of holding the guns out to you, but seeing that you're a bit more irrational, a few of them have put them away. And the Krogan just kind of turns to you first up and goes, Gusk, right? How about you see to your friend? He's gonna get himself into a lot of trouble otherwise. We don't want the C-Sec down here. Not coming into this place.
Yeah, you're right.
Thank you.
Okay, diplomacy has clearly failed. I shoot into the ceiling.
A few people run away, and as you fire, the Krogan will charge across and try and headbutt you, given that you're now a threat.
I want to intercept and headbutt the Krogan and
Oh my
save
god, okay.
save Roger.
Jenkins,
All
why?
right, could
Why
you
the
give me
heroism?
a...
Lysander does nothing to help.
Jenkins, could you give me a quick strength, like a fighting check will do, actually?
You got it.
You might actually do this, which would be even more impressive.
Oh, come on!
Wow.
Do you want to use a Benny?
Yeah, okay, sure, let's do it.
Alright, this time, Robbie, you run in between, and you just kind of see the Krogan go, begin to charge, and stomping his feet and charging head first, and you kind of look over, and you roar, and you charge in between and go for a headbutt, and your head collides with the front of the Krogan's head, and it stops and just looks at you confused. Right. We're human. He says, looking down at you. He said it's a very smaller form compared to him, and the entire bar just starts laughing, and it seems that the shot is forgotten about, as they're all kind of laughing at this Erdnot member who went to headbutt you and was stopped by a human's forehead.
I too am laughing, but I no longer know why or where I am.
Just, is it like concerned laughter whilst looking
You're
around?
diminishing my success.
Why are we
this
still in
one-
this bar?
I say, apologize for calling my best friend a human, and we can forget this whole thing ever happened.
Persuasion, please. Roger.
Oh, God. Sorry, what's that under? I don't have that.
Unskilled if you don't have it.
Alrighty.
Oh my god.
Oh, God.
Can we not re-escalate the situation? My head is already misshapen.
I guess I say this one will also let it go if you don't apologize.
Yeah, he kind of glares at you, and as you say that, he just turns around and goes, "Good job, human," he says, and sort of pats you on the shoulder before leaving. He looks over
Thanks,
to the
large
other
armored lizard.
one. He stops and just turns to you. What did you call me?
I said, Marge Llama Lizard.
Persuasion, please.
Wizard?
Yeah, that'll resolve the situation.
I'm not very good at persuading people.
Or anything else.
So, I have a friend, you may have heard about him. He's
Oh my
called
God.
Benny. Maybe you should call Benny.
I don't have a lot of...
Is that a
For the
war?
love of God, call Benny.
Benny.
I have less bennies than other people because I've got terrible luck.
Fewer.
Yeah, you have 2 at total, so you can use 1 if you want to.
Okay, sure.
You get them back every session, so. Oh my god.
There we go, that'll do it.
Is that even possible?
This one didn't know you could roll a -1.
Oh god, no. That's
I
impossible.
know about bureaucracy. Do I know if this is legal? I don't think this is legal. Is this legal?
You start
I don't
to
know what to
consider
say.
if this is legal, as the entire bar just kicks out into chaos. As Jenkins, you say that, and he turns to you and just charges. luckily he misses you as he charges directly past you and collides with the table of Vorcha, who then all stand up and begin to get ready to fight and bring out some of their guns, and a few of them sort of just walking out and charging at the other Krogan, and the entire bar is thrown into complete chaos as you're all stood in the middle of this, and you see sort of shots flying, and you at one point see a Hanar be thrown through the air and seems to land on the other side of the bar. And you see the sort of humans begin to scurry out of here like crazy. And the sort of barkeeper's just going, "Hey, wait! Stop! Stop!" What do you want to do,
There's
guys?
so many opportunities for this to not turn into a fight. We have, against all odds, turned this into a fight.
Yep.
I
One
mean,
thinks we should leave.
I do love the
really?
utter irony of Jenkins again. Like, I'm literally unlucky. Crit one.
That was my re-roll as well.
It was your Benny.
What do I have to do to convince everybody to get out of this bar?
Are you all leaving with this chaos on? No.
We gotta run away, right?
Well, I can't, just for my character, this is now Larissa talking, I can't run away from a fight. You guys are gonna have to convince me.
Gusk, my head hurts and I need to leave. I've got a challenge for you. I bet that I can beat you back to the ship.
That's good thinking.
And it's about that
All
time,
right, you're
Lysander, that
on.
you're sort of side charged by a vulture who kind of goes and runs in to hit you. Could you give me a quick fighting check, please?
Oh, to me?
Lysander.
Oh, mate.
Oh, Lysander.
One sec. I think I deliberately put no points in fighting on the assumption that I would always be at range.
oh, so you made a glass cannon.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Okay. So on your 5, look, as this vulture sort of walks around the corner, screaming and swinging for you, you turn around in time and manage to just clock them across the face. Could you
Okay.
give me a quick damage if you're unarmed, please? Let this be your strength.
Second.
It's alright? Yeah, there's this kind of utter chaos going
Okay.
around you. Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, and you managed to just kind of turn around, Lysander, and very practiced, almost. How do you want to knock this vulture out in a hit?
Can I do a fancy roundhouse kick?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, of course you can. So you, like, twist it. Jean-Claude Van Damme roundhouse kick this guy.
Lysander knows Kung Fu.
Confirm, now it's canon. As Lysander, you twist and just roundhouse kick this vulture who flies sideways over a table and is just knocked out immediately, strewn down the floor.
You move like they do.
As for the rest of you, how are you trying to convince Gusk to leave?
Well, I've already taken up Robbie on his bet that we can race back to the ship.
Alright, cool. So you begin to race out with Robbie, and Robbie, as you're running away, you do see your captain sort of twist and just, like out of a Kung Fu movie, just roundhouse kick a vulture in the face that just kind of twists and spins almost before crashing into a table and just knocked out immediately.
Well, Lysander got knocked out, or the Krogan did.
Oh, no, not the Krogan. The vulture did. That
Oh, the
Lysander,
vulture, right.
kicked. Lysander roundhouse kicked a vulture in the head that went flying, essentially.
I just want to get him, boss!
Thanks.
And as you're all sort of making your way out as well, Aaron, you see one of the Krogans looks at you and just begins to charge towards you. One of the younger one of the two, and he's like, "Ah!" Could you give me a fighting check, please?
Why? Stephen, I thought you were my friend.
Stab him with a biro.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. So
Oh my
how-
god.
So how are you taking this guy out? As the Krogan charges
So-
at you, and you're gonna get a raise in that at the very least, as this guy isn't too hard to hit. He's quite a young and brash one. He's very drunk.
So, like, Aaron sees, like, the Krogan charging towards him, and he quickly looks around. He sees like a bottle, and he very bravely grabs one bottle, shaking completely and not bravely at all. So as soon as the Krogan comes, like he does one small jump to the left and like bonks him in the head with the bottle, and that's it.
All right, cool. So could you give me? We'll give you an arm check. So it's still a D4, but you should be able to have a raise on that. I believe there's a way to tick it as a raise.
So hold on. It's So okay. So I don't have an arm. So that's an unskilled.
Yeah. So it's not actually. You don't need to roll the skill. It's just under equipment. There is the melee weapons and strength-based weapons. If you just press add one, you can literally just roll it. But if you tick the raise button. There's like a little box and it says raise on it. And just tick that before you roll it. Wow, okay, cool. Yeah, so... I like that you called it bonk, Naranus. That's very good.
I mean, it's what it is.
Indeed. So, Naranus, you see this Krogan sort of sprinting across towards you and you sort of panic and you grab a bottle and just twist and... And as you collide over the head, you manage to hit him right in the squishy side of the face, and he sort of is sent to the side and sort of staggers off towards a table, where you see one of the Hanar thrown, which collides with him in the face and sort of begins to wrap its tentacles around him, panicked, and he just flops to the ground, fighting with the tentacles. Get off of me!
While that's happening, I'm going to grab my drink and like turn around and quickly run. Very bravely.
Yeah, so the rest of you managed to make it outside. Roger, what are you doing? Have you been leaving as well?
This one is also going to try to grab a couple drinks from the bar, basically whatever you can carry with his various tentacles.
You grab 4 more canisters of Asari juice that have been left on the side, as you manage to get it all up and begin to leave.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Okay, and you make it out. Gusk and Jenkins, you're both sprinting back towards the office as you make it to where the cabs are, and the rest of you, you step outside and manage to get just a little around the corner before you see C-Sec begin to storm into the bar. It seems you left just in time.
I turn to Jenkins and I say, Jerry, I just want to say, or this one just wants to say, I couldn't be more pleased with how things went. I can understand why you're the captain here.
Thanks, flying hatted lizard. My head hurts.
See, this is why Jenkins don't live very long.
So am I going to be arrested now for defending myself after everybody else did everything they could to cause as much violence as possible?
Basically.
Yeah, Lysander's the only one left in the bar, right?
Wonderful.
Okay, so you all begin to leave and you make your way and you find a air cab easy enough. As yeah, I'm imagining you all dive in like immediately, just like get out of here. As you see C-Sec storming the flying pig, and you
I want to attempt to try and Dukes of Hazzard slide over the top of it.
Oh hell yeah!
It's a flying car.
It's a flying car.
You're going to fall thousands of kilometers if you slide over it.
Give me an agility check.
Okay.
A very wise person once said, "This is why Jenkins don't live very long."
Agility. Here we go.
You know what? I'll give it you on that. You do slide over the bonnet of the air car, and you see the cab driver look incredibly panicked as you begin to hurtle off towards the edge and to the massive drop below. But as you do that, you twist in time and just duck in through the back window and are completely safe. There's 6 drivers.
Did I mention, Jellyfish, that I'm trying to do the safest things that I can do to extend my lifespan?
You did not, but that was clear.
Okay, good. I tried to make that obvious.
Cool. So you all.
So where to, Captain?
Where to, boss?
Are you two asking each other? I'm not even here.
Lysander not even here.
Where would you
You
managed to make it outside.
Lysander's being arrested for all your messing around.
No, you're alright. You made it out just in time, Lysander. You're good. You're good.
Okay, good. I'm calling an Uber. Lysander's done with his shit.
You go on your
Alright.
mini tool and bring up Uber and order a sky cab.
Alright, let's get back to our ship, the overcooked Pyjak.
So you get driven around just the block, and then they drop you off like a street across, given that you want to go to your ship in Shady Tom's. And they drop you off and just go, yeah, it's alright, we won't charge you for that. I literally drove about 30 seconds.
Everyone here is so nice.
Has our friend Shadowy Tom fixed our ship yet?
You've got
Wait,
you
I
got
still
it.
have to race you to the ship.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh god.
Gusk, as you kind of sprint alongside the car then. And you make it outside of Shady Tom's and you're like, we've got to race you still. And you get outside and you can see Shady Tom is smoking a cigarette outside. Oh, you're back. How was the pig?
Yeah, that was
We
great.
walked away with a lot of money. Great.
I think this one speaks on behalf of all of us when I say things couldn't have gone better.
So you remember to take the credits, right, Roger?
You even dare.
This one thought you had the credits.
Oh,
No, I didn't get them.
can I just take the ship and go?
Yeah, so you head in. And as you kind of all go in, could the two of you who are racing give me a very quick agility check, though, against each other, just to see who reaches it first out of Jenkins and Gusk? Alright, it's Robbie. Robbie makes it that quick.
I'm not
Doing
sure
that.
I'm not sure I want to beat Gusk in a race.
Alright, well, if you don't, you can, on an 8, you can make it incredibly convincing that you didn't.
Okay, I do that.
Yeah, so you do amazing, but you still are slower than Gusk, it seems, but mainly because you're doing like car bonnet slides just over everything. Even if it's the wrong way, you're just kind of like, whoa.
Diving into piles of cardboard boxes and stuff.
I just run to the wrong ship.
Yeah, so you run to the wrong ship, you find the massive ship that's been getting gutted, and you see some Vorcha that have ripped off the engine and are beginning to sort of wheel it over towards
Oh,
your ship.
I specifically asked for no Vorcha mechanics. Thank you very much.
Yeah, they kind of look over as they see you here, and you see them all step backwards, and then a human comes out off of his brake and starts wheeling it and nods.
Right.
As if they've noticed you and are like, we're not meant to be doing this. Still.
I can only imagine, like, Jenkins sliding over stuff and screaming like Steve Carell in The Office, "Parkour!" every time he does, like, that's a glorious sight.
Pretty
Thank
much
you,
that.
guys.
Yeah, pretty much that.
That's going to stay with me for a long time.
Okay, brilliant. So, and aside from that, as you're all sort of making your way across, everything just froze on the cameras. That was weird. There we go, we're back with cameras. Sorry about that, everybody. So, as you're making it across, you finally make it back to the flaming Pyjak, and once you're there, you can see that they've actually done quite a bit of work on it, even in these few hours you've been gone, sort of drinking and chilling, and they've cleaned up the whole ship. They've given it a very nice paint job, and you can see that they have installed the extra area that is this new shower that they've put in. Aside from that, it also seems like they've got the power up and running, but the engine isn't quite in yet. They've still got to install that. That's the bit that'll take a little longer for them to do. That's why it's next morning, basically. But Shady Tom, as he sees you, kind of gets off of his brake and goes, "Yeah, there you go. Your ship's almost there. Should be good to go tomorrow." Oh, I did get a message while you were gone. Someone looking for you.
Who's looking for us?
They mentioned, most of you by name, actually. Didn't have a name. They didn't give me one, at least. They said they have a very good business proposition for you. They said they were a very well-dressed lady, I believe. Quite dark hair, tied back. Has a strange eye. Looks like one of them fake ones, where the eye bit is moving a bit different. But seemed quite important. But they did say the pay for the job. Didn't say
Okay,
what
and
the
what's
job
that?
was, but the pay was around, let me remember. He says, and he kind of looks at a little note he's taken. Oh yeah, around 50k.
Or 2 trips to the Flying Pig.
Or true trips to the Flying Pig, he says, and kind of gives you a grin. They said 50k up front, and the rest is another 100.
Okay, so how do we find out more about this job? Where do we go?
Well, they said they'd be back in the morning for you, but I'm just warning you they're coming through. They said that their client is very keen to at least have your answer for their proposal.
This one knows that we're all talking about very important things, but did we get the money from the Flying Pig?
You did?
Well, did we?
Yeah, you were given
I
a
don't know, I
card
lost-
with it on. Essentially, they
Oh!
digitally bet. So they all put their bets on digitally, and as soon as the sort of bet was finished, it was automatically transferred. It stops people from cheating on their bets a bit.
I knew this one knew that, so yeah, okay, good. I just
To be
wanted make
honest,
sure everyone
you're
else
from
was-
Omega, where they usually are much more shady in how they deal with their bets anyway, so you kind of, you're right to be suspicious.
Okay.
Still, as you sort of stay around there for a little while longer, what do you want to do? Do you want to get some rest? Do you want to...
So do we need to agree or not agree to this job without having any information on it? Or can we
No,
wait?
you've been told that you're going to get more information in the morning. They said that they're going to return. There was somebody looking for you while you were out, but they don't seem to have found you and just seem to have left, but given you the pay number as a teaser, so to speak, to give you a reason to stick around in the morning to see them.
Okay, well, Lysander absolutely needs to go to bed.
Oh, yeah.
This one needs to hit the shower.
Oh, yeah, speaking of that.
I want to see if I'm gonna end up vomiting.
Yeah, could you give me a
after
vigor
all
check
I
again?
So wait, hold up. Roger is going to like the shower, so it's like going to his bed, right?
Basically.
Yes. The shower is this one's room.
Gusk, after you've been smashing your head against another Krogan multiple times, sprinting through a bar, sprinting to the actual place, and running all the way to the ship, as you stand in, you're kind of like, I feel great. And then immediately after you think, I feel great, your guts rile like crazy, and you feel horrible, as you feel like you're going to lose all of that food that you got in yourself earlier, and you feel a wriggling in your stomach, where those eel sort of things that slithered down your throat are just still wriggling in your guts, and oh, that's the stuff that's getting you.
So do I actually up check? Or
Oh
is it
yeah,
just...
you're gonna. You've got time. You're
Okay.
luckily gipping, so you've got time to kind of...
All right, I'm going to Roger's room because I don't know which one's his.
Right, you run into the nearest room with a shower as you see a massive, very clean-looking, immaculate shower.
All right, I'm gonna unload.
Is this one in there?
This one is in there.
This one yells out, "No!"
And you see the door slung open, and you see the massive Krogan Gusk just sort of open its garb, and projectile vomits all over your character, unfortunately. But your barrier blocks most of it. You're just like a
Most of
bubble
it.
of just Krogan sick, unfortunately, as the
Does
shower
this-
begins to wash it away. The rest of you just hear that know of anguish as you see the Krogan run into the back, open the door, you hear a horrifying noise, and you hear Roger's scream.
I love the implication that at least some of the vomit penetrated the force field. That's quite impressive.
Yeah, there's a couple bits that got through Roger.
This
Presumably,
one also throws up.
And then, in response, you also have a bit of dust just kind of go...
I do wish Lysander hadn't shot our Roomba. Because now someone's got to clean this.
It's alright.
It's
It's
Just
in
clean
there.
it.
honest.
The Roomba had it coming.
Yeah, the Roomba's remains are still strewn about.
In another life, Lysander was wronged by a Roomba. He now hates Roombas.
Brilliant. All right. So you see that, and it's pretty unfortunate, but the rest of you just hear it as you step in to go and rest for the night. It looks like Shady Tom, however, has brought in some mattresses and bedding for you all, so you've actually got some decent bedding. It seems he's trying to sweeten you up a bit after he sort of...
Does Shady Tom's generosity know no bounds?
Oh, he's a very generous bison. As you manage to make it in, and each of you have very plain rooms, but you at least have a bed and some bedding. You think maybe tomorrow it might be a good idea to get somebody to bring over your possessions, and so you can decorate your rooms and the like before you set off.
Yeah, so about that, I've been meaning to ask. So
Yes.
we had an office in the past before buying this.
You
So
still
I
have-
assume we lived in the Citadel, right?
Yes, for the moment. You
Why
have
the
old
fuck am I
salvage
sleeping on
office.
this heap of trash when I could be sleeping at my apartment?
I mean,
Fuck
you-
this! I'm going home.
You do have an
Screw you
apartment.
guys!
Which you do have an apartment at the moment, your own, that you've been doing when you've been doing your office work, but sadly you've been fired recently. But you still got the apartment, at least for one night. You can go and stay there if you wish.
Naranas got fired?
Narana's got fired.
Oops.
Did it have anything to do with getting
Rehired.
pissed in a pub?
Basically, he got fired for basically filing paperwork incorrectly, is the reason they gave. Which was actually just, he filed
yes.
a few bits of paperwork that the CSEC wanted to have go missing, and he sort of got notice that he'd made all these reports go missing, and so they essentially fired him. But then the Taurians came up to you and hired you for another purpose, which was to become and serve on a ship that they have an interest in, that they've put a significant investment into, which is, of course, your ship.
So there's that.
So in other words, he was fired to then get given another job to work with you guys.
I
It's
mean,
insurance.
It's better than the promotion. It's better than that field commission they wanted to give me.
Exactly. It's better than going back to the
Is
army.
it?
It's better
Is
than
it?
going back to the army.
It's
Yeah.
probably not, to be honest.
You know,
Okay.
I think Aaron is starting to realize that right now.
I mean,
Yeah,
what's
it's
going
got
on?
an idea.
Reapers are coming. That's probably
Yeah, back
a
to
bit
home, I
easier
guess.
than going to
Goodbye,
bar.
guys.
I'm half expecting at this rate Lysander to just be like, please come, Reapers. Okay. So, you go back to your apartment, and then Aaron, and it's a pleasant journey. You get the sky cab back. It takes you over the city. You can see these sort of flowing lights beneath you of the Citadel and the other cabs this late at night returning home with many other drunks, no doubt. You make your way back to your nice apartment, and you see the clean, plain metal walls and the neon lights and the beautiful sights of your home as you make it here out of that trash heap that was the other district where your ship was. And you make it into your apartment, and you place your key card in to try and scan it, and it just sort of goes did and doesn't open.
So Aaron's just staring at the door right now, and you know that blank stare, that people give. So he, while still staring at the door, like he again on the reader, he places the card on the reader.
You keep on getting over and over again as your card is just not accepted.
Is there a window?
There is on the outside of the building.
So, like, is this on the floor level, the ground level, or is this
This
like
is on like
way
the
up high?
27th floor.
Yeah, no. So, yeah, about 10 minutes after this, you guys hear like the noise of the ship door opening again. Shh, I'm back.
This is the most depressing space adventure I've ever been a part of.
Hey, it's not really begun yet. It's fine. And yeah, you have Aaron return, sort of looking dejected.
Not even Linda was as bad as this when she went away.
Aw.
I'm gonna go pass out on my bunk.
Not a problem. You go and pass out on your bunk, and you look at the head plate on your wall, and again, as you're drifting off, you just think, yeah, I did that.
I definitely did that. Yeah.
And you pass out into a blissful sleep. The rest of you all manage to get your rest. It's a quite long night for a few of you, though. You can hear sort of the noises of the sort of construction going on outside, the engineering and the attaching of the engines. It seems that they've been pulling shifts to get this done quick for you. But aside from that, inside it's not too loud, and you manage to get a restful night's sleep.
I can tell you the shower was on for most of the night.
That's fine. Gusk, in your room next to Roger's, you could just hear a constant sort of streaming of water, lightly.
Well, I mean, if I was awake, I'm asleep.
Yeah, you're out cold, though.
Dead as a doornail.
Okay, so you manage to, you wake up in the morning, bright and early, and you do hear a sort of a noise coming from your door. It sort of keeps going doo-doo-dip, doo-doo-dip, and then pausing, and then going doo-doo-dip again.
This is my door?
On the main door of the ship.
Oh, so I guess
You then,
Jenkins goes up to the door.
yeah.
Okay, you got it, boss.
He's this happy this early in the morning.
I go and open the closet.
You open the closet door.
Am I still? How's my head? Have I recovered from this Krogan injury?
You feel like you've got the worst hangover of your life, and you have a feeling like you headbutted a Krogan last night, but like that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, that must have just been the Asari juice. I'm not going to have that stuff again.
That Asari juice hit you like a ton of bricks, basically, it seems.
Like a Krogan.
Like a Krogan.
Yeah. Okay, so I was actually asking you to open a specific door rather than just the nearest door.
Oh, right, okay.
So I opened the door.
Apologies, I opened the correct door this
You
time.
go to the front door and you press the open button, and as it opens, you do see a sort of rather slim looking but quite short lady. It looks very serious face, very sort of stern looking. Her eyes, one is kind of a lighter blue, but you can see little sort of optics sort of shifting within it slightly. And you can see in her other eye it is a sort of brownish colour as she looks at you and nods once. She's wearing a black suit, it seems, and is carrying a case next to her, a metal case that seems sealed, as she looks over at you.
It's the slightly elusive woman.
It's the mysterious lady.
That's a far less intimidating name.
Yeah.
The Mysterious Lady.
Sounds like something out of a 1940s noir film.
It does, Roger. There we go.
I wouldn't know. That's Roger's problem.
Would you look at the gams in that bit of calico?
Anyway, she walks in and kind of nods at you all politely. Ah, hello. I believe you're the crew of the Flaming Pyjak. Yes, Captain Lysander. Robbie Jenkins.
Yes, there's very little I can do about it, but this is the crew of the Flaming Pyjak.
Very well, she nods. It is a pleasure to meet you. She holds out a gloved hand.
Okay, I'll shake hands.
You do so, and she nods and smiles at you politely. A strong handshake. Very good. I'm here to talk business, however. Do we have anywhere to sit? I may need somewhere to place
No.
this. She gestures to
We
her
got
case.
a shower, and basically sod all else.
The shower's not currently usable, from what I understand.
But, yeah.
Occupied!
Occupado.
Okay, do we actually have a table?
You do.
I
You
can't believe I
actually
have
do
to ask
have
that
like
question.
a little sort of table in the middle, like a sort of round table with some chairs near it.
Okay, good. Let's bring our guests to the round table.
Can
A
we
crew of
form a
the round
nightly
table.
order?
I was trying to think of an Arthurian joke, but you just went in there. Go for it.
This one comes out of the shower only wearing a towel.
I mean,
Right. Slightly overdressed for a Hanar.
But he's missing his hat.
he is. He's missing his hat, and that's practically.
Oh my god, cover up, man, jeez!
All right, so the lady sort of places the case on the table, flips it around, and unclips a few buckles before she opens it up and places it on the side, at which point she takes out a few tools that seem to be a couple of lenses, as well as a couple of boxes of a metallic look. She begins to slide them inside and then press a few buttons before she presses something on her Omni tool, which seems to glow slightly for a moment as she presses it.
I turn to Jenkins and I say, what do you think? A couple of lenses? A couple of boxes?
Excuse me? What?
That's
I can't
exactly
concentrate when you're just wearing the towel. It's very distracting.
This one will return with his hat. This one gives you his apologies. Or this one's...
If only he'd picked the attractive and very attractive traits as a Hanar, that'd be amazing.
Well, I didn't want to display myself.
Alright, is he? Okay, so she kind of sets these things out, and you hear a beep before she kind of nods. Very well, our client can hear you. I am Harriet Foster. I am here on behalf of my employer, who prefers not to be named. They will go by the term the curator, as far as this will go, she says as she looks around at you all. The name is for their protection, as well as yours. But they have a job for you, a simple job, in fact. One that will pay a significant amount of credits that you seemingly need. We had heard that you all would be suited to such a task, and, well, if you're willing to listen, I will let you know what it is, she says as she looks around at you.
It's well known that we can cock up even the simplest job. You've come to the right place.
She turns and looks at you, but doesn't smile or even frown, just kind of... I am sure you'll be fine.
I'm not.
Way to sell us.
That are... I'm not here to sell you anything, she says as she looks at you. I am here to offer you a job. Now, Captain Lysander, we have reason to believe that you have a bone to pick with the human organization known as Cerberus. Is this correct?
I've largely been trying to avoid them, but we're not on good terms.
Very good. What if I could tell you that this job would both harm them, but also annoy them, but also not have you in the blame?
Okay, I wouldn't want anything to be traceable to me.
Of course not. We will do our utmost to make sure that that is not the case. So long as you keep a low profile and do not cause too much trouble, this should be an easy task. Still, we need somebody of your history to be able to do this. And Gusk, I believe, Nakmar Gusk, you have connections with the Blood Pack, do you not?
Wouldn't call them connections, but...
Good enough, she says as she looks at you and then turns. The task is simple. My employer needs a certain item gathered and brought to a drop-off point. She slides across the little boxes she's got and presses another button as you see a small sort of projected hologram of what looks to be a datapad appear. The datapad has a string code on it which says 1175225.
Okay.
And aside from that, it also seems to bear the mark of Cerberus on the back end of it. This datapad is the one we need. We have been told that it is encrypted highly and that the information upon it is very, very critical to Cerberus. I assume you have heard of the fall of the Collectors recently?
Yeah.
Commander Shepard did a very good job of that, it seems. But the findings that they found there were recorded in a small way. It seems Cerberus has been up to some interesting business. That pad contains some critical information for them to be able to replicate certain findings that they found within their dealings with the Collectors. We wish for it to be gone. Bring it to me. Our employers will see to it that it is kept in the right place and used in the manner of which we need. You can be assured that this is for the best of humanity and the universe at large.
Okay, and this pays well.
150,000 credits.
Wow.
And if you do good. my employer would be willing to give you more. We have many contracts up for certain items across the verse, and I must say, some of them pay incredibly well.
I correct her. If we do well, not if we do good, and then look at Lysander expecting approval.
You see sort of her eye just twitch slightly as you correct her.
Okay, maybe not now, Jenkins.
You got it, boss.
My point is, my employer has a very high-paying job for you, and there will be much more in the future if you do well.
Okay, so I'm very hesitant about doing anything affiliated with Cerberus, but we do kind of need money because we just, proved that we can burn through it pretty swiftly.
Oh, yeah.
What do we think? Jenkins, what do you think we should do?
That sounds good to me. I would spend all my money on the ship, so more would be good. And she seems trustworthy. Look at her.
The very serious lady stands stock still, eyes still very open, as she's sort of looking around at each of you and continues to stare at the pad from every time, and then turns to you again.
I mean, she just gives off such a warm impression. I can't not trust her.
Thank you. I'm
Trust
very
her more
much
than
good at having
Shady
warm
Tom.
impressions.
What do you think, Jellyfish?
This one's never even heard of Sorceress, but if the money's there, this one does not care.
Sorcerer. She kind of just looks at you confused, but then just turns around and seems to wipe it away from her memory. So do you accept?
Yes, let's accept this before you have any further reason to question why you came to us of all people.
Thank you. I was already questioning it, but at least yourself seem to be very professional, Captain Lysander.
Thank you.
It's about that time that the door to Aaron's quarters open, and he comes out wearing a very badly tied robe, and kind of drowsily walks towards the kitchen and starts making breakfast without ever noticing there's anyone there.
Very well. If you have accepted, then please place your fingers upon this dot, she says, and she kind of slides over the little machine, and you see there is little kind of panels that appear that seem to be fingerprint coded.
Wait a second, boss. Don't you think this is the kind of thing that we should get our bureaucratic accountant / lawyer to look at?
Actually, yeah, let's get Naranus to look over the legalese of this job contract.
Sure. I mean that makes sense if you want to get them.
Well, unless creating any more excuses would just lose us this, because she already has every reason to think we're a bunch of half-wits. So,
She seems to kind of straighten up and go, you may look over the contracts or discuss it as you wish. The contract is mainly verbal, but you may discuss it with your lawyer if you wish. I will be right here.
Okay, can I get Jenkins to scan his fingerprint on this, just in case it's like a bomb or something?
You got it, boss.
Okay, cool. You scan on my
that
bar.
you're locking into this contract already before you read it?
So Jenkins, do you do it?
Yeah, he offhandedly mentioned it, so I just do it reflexively.
And as you do, you feel a slight prick on your sort of finger, and it bleeds ever so slightly. But aside from that, you pull it away and you're fine. Thank you.
Ow.
That's foreshadowing. You screwed, Jenkins. You've got plague or something, or you've got a tracking device in your head or whatever.
No,
we should just leave you here.
There is no sort of thing that we have done. Why would we wish to put such a thing in you? We only wish to have a assurance and also a way to identify you. If you were to go to our location of pickup, you will be both bioscanned and also need a fingerprint. This has solved both.
Oh, so that we now have to rely on the accident-prone guy making it to the end to get paid.
No, each of you have a fingerprint thing in here, it seems.
Okay.
This one does not have neither fingers nor prints.
Your tentacle will do.
Okay.
Just plop it on there. We'll figure it out later.
This one plops on his tentacles. All of them.
You plop them all on, and then you feel a little pinprick, and then you move them away. And she just kind of looks at it, and her eyebrows sort of knit together a moment as she's thinking about it and goes, yes, we'll figure that out. Thank you, Roger. Are the rest of you ready, or are you still wishing to discuss it with your breakfast-making lawyer?
Aaron just arrives at the table, like, holding a mug, and like...
Yeah. Got like an apron
Discuss
on that just
what?
says "Kiss the accountant."
Discuss
Okay.
what?
Jenkins and Gusk and Roger, what do we think? Are we going to look this over, or are we just going to go? I mean, it seems like we've already agreed to it, so...
I think we've already signed it.
Yeah, I'm putting my finger on.
All right, let's do it. Let's get off this citadel.
All right. So you all.
Assuming we're supposed to go somewhere off the citadel, do we know where this datapad is?
She hasn't told you yet. But as you all kind of pop your fingers on and you prick them,
Or tentacles.
or tentacles, you do seal the deal. And Aaron, as you sort of walk over, she looks at you and goes, Aaron Uranus, would you please join your comrades in signing?
He looks at her. He looks at the datapad. Looks at her. Looks at the datapad. Did nobody tell you that you don't sign papers without reading them?
There are no papers, it is a verbal contract.
Ooh, she's got you there.
Like, he's processing. He's thinking if she's right or if he was gotten or he...
It's not exactly... It's legal, like, to make verbal contracts, or to seal contracts with other signatures, but it's not the most sort of suggested. It's not the most unsuspicious, but...
She just said it's legal. What else do you need to hear?
Like, Aaron very slowly turns his head towards Lysander. So, like, I think Spacedock's up here in the stream. He very slowly turns up his head, like, to Lysander. You're the sanest person here, other than me. What do you think of this deal? It's too early in the morning for me to think about this. Come on.
Well, right now, this seems like the only sensible way to get any money, and it would also get us off this station and allow us to maintain this ship. It all sounds a bit sinister, but also everybody
Like, you
already
didn't
gave
even
these people
finish your
ideas.
sentence, like, you heard the...
Sorry,
like,
what?
as you were in the middle of your sentence, like, get the ship running and get out of the station, like, you just simply heard the beep of the confirmation of, like, signing up.
Oh, brilliant.
And as you've signed in, she kind of nods and smiles happily. She pushes up and away the prints as they sort of slide into what seems to be a deeper compartment within the little box she's got, and she gives you a ever so slight smile. Very good, very good. You're all signed up for the job. Brilliant. So, details will be sent to your datapads within the next day. Our client is pleased, she says as she presses a button on the device. Now then, you may rest. The first quarter of your pay, in fact, a third of your pay, will be coming to you now, she says, and you do get a beep on your Omni tool, Lysander.
Okay.
And it seems to confirm the notification that you've been paid a significant amount of credits directly. 50,000 credits are added to your account.
Okay.
Now then, I believe that the current information is that it is somewhere here on the Citadel that you will be able to find more information as to its whereabouts. Our client does not have too much detailed information, but a few places have come up. One of them is Vermeer, which seems a bit of a strange one. The other one is Omega. I'm inclined to believe it is either here or on Omega, personally. Oh, there was one bit of information that said it was on Tuchanka. That seems even less likely, and if it is there, I imagine the Krogans may have destroyed it by now.
Okay, so we have crew members with insight into two of those places.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like Omega and Tuchanka are probably the most logical places to check out first. Just which one is the question.
I would perhaps...
Does Gus want to go to Tuchanka?
Yes.
Didn't sound very convincing.
Well, nonetheless, if you wish to go to Tachanka, that would work fine, but I would suggest looking into it here first. I believe that the datapad did come through the bureaucratic system, so it may be best to check in some offices of some sort, or perhaps check into where it was. I would warn you, however, CSEC may look upon your actions as less than... well, not suspicious, I guess you could say. There have been other inquirers as to the whereabouts of this datapad. There is much want for it.
So we gotta go to like the Citadel archives or something.
Possibly. That's your job. She smiles a little bit.
Okay.
But
It sounds
I would
like a
suggest-
Johannes problem.
It does. I would suggest that you do it as quick as possible, but best of luck and keep in contact. If you need to get in contact with us again, I will send you an address to which you can send messages. We will respond within a prompt time frame.
Okay.
Please do not share any of these details with any outside parties. My employer would be very disappointed.
Okay, I'll do my best, but I really can't speak for these idiots.
But you do. You are their captain.
Yes, of course.
Wait, he's the captain?
As far as the paperwork stated.
This one thought Jenkins was the captain.
I thought the jellyfish was the captain. He's the one with the hat.
Please, allow me to clear this up, she says, and pulls up a file that is your contract and begins to scroll through it. And she goes,
I thought there was no
Captain
paperwork.
This is
I
your
thought this was-
paperwork for this, your ship. You registered it.
As the
Like-
captain, this one agrees to your terms.
She kind of, her eye twitches once more as she kind of, no, I'm, listen, Captain Lysander is the captain. You, Robbie Jenkins, are the primary stakeholder within this business venture.
So
You
I'm
are
only the
owners.
captain when it means I'm getting legally shafted or something. I'm only the captain when it's a bad idea to be the captain.
I thought captain was just his first name.
No. It is a title.
Oh.
She seems to again have that strange eye twitch as she just kind of looks a little bit more perturbed for a moment before the calm
Is the
replaces
election
over
for
her face.
captain
again.
over?
I will now depart. It has been a very good time.
Okay.
I will see you soon. And I wish all of you the best of luck. Please do keep in contact. She then turns, takes the case, and leaves.
I can't believe anyone would hire us for anything.
Yeah, this has got to be a trap, right?
It seems like more than just a salvage operation.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about. What the fuck did we just sign?
Okay, so I guess we're going to go along with this on account of the fact that we can't think of anything else to do.
It
So,
also does pay quite well, and she did pay up the first third.
should we try and get as much money out of these people as possible and then like abandon the job once we've got like 3 out of 4 payments?
Or we could just go back to the flying pig and
We are
bet
never going
50,000.
back to the flying pig. Okay?
This
Erase
one,
it from your mind.
If this one's being honest, they love this one on Omega. No problem going back there. But I've kind of heard good things about the Flying Pig. I wouldn't mind checking that place out.
Yeah, I
Maybe
hear that's
the
quite
latest
good.
there. What are we looking for?
Yeah, I mean, you could go to the Flying Pig, or go to
No,
another.
no. We're not going to the flying pig. Let's go and find out what this datapad entry is or whatever. Let's go to the Citadel archives or something and
Alright, no
us
problem.
do some research.
So,
Or we could start grooming Gusk for an illustrious headbutting career, where we just go from place to place, placing bets and getting him to win.
We could just take the money and gamble it.
But
Or
As-
we
as-
could
as
just
much
actually
as
do the
I-
contract.
As much as I'm sure that I could do that, I think we should do the job. Although, let's not go to Tachanka first.
Look,
Okay.
guys. Look, it's simple. We have a contract. It pays well. And we have a team. We have an ex-human operative. We have this big guy here who can headbutt a fully grown Krogan and win. We have this...
I don't remember doing that.
He was pointing at me, dumbass.
Oh.
We have this detective. I think he's a detective. He's very bad at situational awareness, but I think he's a
Do you guys
detective.
have
That's
another
what he calls
detective?
himself. So, anyway, and we have a... What are you again, Jenkins?
Oh, ex-marine. Now salvage operator. And former
When Jenkins says ex-marine, Aaron, like, it turns to Lysander. Is this why the Systems Alliance lost the First Contact War?
Got him cheap.
Okay, so, you see, I think we can actually pull this off. I think we can actually make this contract. We have the muscle, we have the... Like, he starts saying brains, he looks like at the floating jellyfish. We have the manpower to do it. Yeah, we have the muscle and we have the manpower.
We have the optimism.
Yes, very good, Lysa. You got the gist of it. So, you go, I stay on the ship, and everything is going to be alright.
But
Okay, so we gotta bring Uranus.
we need to check the archives. Yeah, so
Oh, I can do that from here.
Uranus knows the archives.
I mean, open access to the Citadel files. I mean,
Can we do that from here?
I do think we can.
What is it about chives that we need? How many chives?
Could you give me a bureaucracy check, please, Aaron, on that note?
There's a bureaucracy skill?
Yes, you can
There's
take
for me.
knowledge of different things, and his knowledge is in bureaucracy specifically.
Ah.
Okay, so on a 5. So you know that, yes, you can access a lot of files remotely, but the actual security for the offices that you at least worked at was very, very strong. You could bypass some of that by accessing some of the files internally, where you know the data locks and you know all of the different ways to get through that. But from here, wouldn't be possible, at least not without an amazing hacking skill roll.
So, like, to demonstrate his point, Aaron is like, he brings up his Omni to, look guys, it's very simple. He starts typing the government site. You see, it's like, it's public information. They can hide, beep beep. Oh. Okay then, I guess I'm going.
Okay.
Alright. And as you begin to head out, who's going with Aaron?
Well, I'll go.
Okay, Gusk.
I mean, we may as well all go because otherwise it would mean I was entrusting my ship to somebody.
That is fair.
This one will go wherever Captain Jenkins leads.
Alright.
As will I.
You begin to head out, and as you all step out of the ship, each of you walking out and, almost in slow-mo as it hits you, and you walk out of the ship and begin to walk on towards the bureaucratic offices of the Citadel and head towards the air cab to get there. And we'll call it there for today.
Okay.
So,
What a cliffhanger. Going to the office.
you can
Some
go
of
look
us
at
who
some
remain nameless
papers.
are floating rather than walking.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh,
you're
sorry.
floating.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah, that was
little
sensitive.
human-centric stuff
Yes.
going on here.
As you're walking.
I also didn't like that manpower comment that Aaron said earlier. I think that was a
Bring that up.
little.
I was very offended.
I mean, that is one way of doing it. But yeah, I hope you've all enjoyed it anyway. So we'll go back through. We'll go through each of you. We'll talk about, let us know what you do again, where we can find you, and also just tell us what your favorite moment was in that episode. So we'll go the opposite way this time. So we will go with Nakmar Gusk, Larissa.
Oh my god, I have to start. Okay, hi. In case you're joining late, I'm Larissa. I am the voice of the Templin Institute. I'm also a voice actor. I've been playing Nakmor Gusk, the insecure Krogan. My favorite part was definitely vomiting on Roger. I don't know. I just had a whole bunch of great moments this session.
Oh, it was fun. Okay, so brilliant. Oh, thank you very much for playing, Larissa. It's been brilliant to have Gusk along for the ride. And Roger, let's go for you. So what was your... Just let us know who you are, where we can find you, and what your favourite moment was.
I'm Mark from the Templin Institute. I play Roger Collins. No, my favorite part was the budding dynamic between me and Jenkins, or as I call him, Jerry.
I do love that. I love the sort of the budding thing with Jerry and Roger that's going on there. It's been really fun. That's been great. Okay, cool. So thanks for having you again, and Aaron.
You're welcome.
Gabriel.
I heard that's me.
I hear that's you too sometimes. I think that's your name, yeah.
Actually, my name is a complicated matter. So I am a very big influencer in the internet because I have 139 Twitter followers. Yeah. So that's literally the only place you can find me. Other than that, I am the scientific advisor for the Sojourn, in case you missed the intro. And my favorite part for this session, definitely pizza. I mean, it has to be. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. Then I had to say it. No, I think my favorite part of the session was probably Gusk actually managing to pull off all the crazy stunts that they proposed, because that was fucking glorious. Other than that, I really liked the relationship that Roger and Jenkins. No, wait, Jenkins is his actual name. It's Jerry. I actually think that how that evolved naturally, that was so nice.
Yeah, that was super fun to see happen, and I did love that. There's some brilliant moments in there for the Jerry Roger moments. Okay, so speaking of stunts that we pulled today, Robbie Jenkins.
Oh, hello. My name is Alasdair. I'm part of the Spacedock team. I'm Dan's video editing monkey. I have a Twitter as well, McCabe Alasdair, McCabeAlasdair. And my favorite part, I think, was thinking that sliding over the top of the car was a good idea without realizing that it would be a massive drop. That didn't even occur to me at the time. And yeah, the budding dynamic between myself and Roger. I think I feel like I'm very easily influenced to do anything. We made a lot of money though. Also, shout out to Gusk for literally doing everything in the bar successfully.
Definitely. And yeah, thanks a lot for coming, Alasdair. It's been a blast to have Robbie Jenkins in there. Luckily surviving his first session, so hopefully one of many more.
I doubt it. I don't think he's going to last very long.
We'll see. If he keeps on like Dukes of Hazzard sliding off cars that are sky cabs, then maybe not. Or maybe you could like combo it all the way down to like the ground. Alright, so, and finally, last but not least, Daniel.
Hey, I'm Daniel. I'm an internet spaceship man, and I think my favorite part was when we cut to an unrelated Volus in order to catch Gusk's supersonic burp from several kilometers away. That was good. I'm also loving. I'm in this for the Roger Jenkins bromance. It's pretty important to me.
Oh,
Definitely. I've been loving the Roger Jenkins romance. I'm glad you liked the Volus as well. Yeah, that raw, like that absolute burp from Gusk was amazing as well. There was some high rolls for a burp. Probably the best roll I've ever seen, and the first I've ever seen for a burp.
Do I get the MVP trophy?
You can have the MVP trophy. Why not? I think everybody unanimously has agreed. So
that is well deserved.
Wait, but okay. Mr. Steve, what was your favorite part?
My favorite part. Oh, God, There are so many of them. I think the entire bar scene was one of my favorites, or like the entire thing with Shady Tom. I loved just watching Lysander slowly get like the levels of exasperation that were happening, where it was just like growing and growing and growing and growing the entire time, up until when you guys just intimidated him. We're like, "Nah, we're done with this, right? You're fixing our ship." That was really fun, and no, I loved the bar scene, the entire scene with Gusk trying to sort of succeed at everything and managing to succeed despite yourself as well with some of the roles that you got. So no, I thought it was brilliant. And Roger's absolute shell shock moment where he was just like firing into the roof and trying to whip out his gun and panicking the moment that bedding came in. So no, I enjoyed all of that, and of course the bonnet slide was great, but I was worried for a moment that we might lose Jenkins in the first session. Have to roll up Jenkins part 2, you know.
That would have been quite appropriate.
It would have been, definitely. But yeah, and with that, I'm Hollowtail. You can find me on Twitter at @HollowTail and on YouTube at HollowTail, where I do videos on different tabletop RPG systems, as well as breakdowns, including this system for Savage Worlds. I've done at least one video on why you should give it a go. There'll be more videos upcoming, as well as the VOD of this and every other episode that is coming out of this and other games that are going to be starting up soon. So if you ever want to catch up or, you know, check out another one of the episodes, they'll be up there. And I'll be here again at the same time in 2 weeks with this lovely cast. So thank you very much, everybody. It's been a blast, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.